Tuckahoe has never beaten Eastchester in football. It's just that it's been 47 years. Columbia Cable 3 Sports presents a Cable 3 Sports Special. And today is the 1990 High School Football Game of the Week. And today a Conference 3 matchup, former rivals the Eastchester Eagles and the Tuckahoe Tigers. Tiger Field in Tuckahoe, New York, Eastchester versus Tuckahoe. Forecast calls for rain, but it looks like we're hoping to hold off. Supposed to rain about 4 o'clock. Game should be over by then. Field is in excellent condition. Hi, everybody. Eric Lubitz along with Ray Karowski set to bring you this former rivalry. Hey, these teams have not played since 1952. And Ray, of course, you have players on the field today. I mean, they're concerned with winning a league and winning the game for this year, but there are a lot of players who've played on these teams in the past in the stands today, former generations. Is that going to come into play today?
Well, first of all, I don't even think it's a game. This is a war. Take no prisoners. It is a rivalry. It's rekindled after 38 years. And is it going to take into play because it was a rivalry in the past? It will so, but I don't think so that much, because the players today, they really don't know the players who have played in the past, but they may be their neighbors, friends. They see them around. There was a lot of talk about it during the week. I think, first of all, that the emotion is so great that the intensity, when Tuckahoe came out on the field and Eastchester was already on the field, you can really feel the intensity. You needed a knife to cut right through.
What is today's game going to boil down to on the field?
Today's game, the high emotion is going to play a factor. You can't be prestigious in a play that type of a game today, because penalties will kill you. You have to maintain your poise. You have to have your composure. This is where I think experience will help out, and the edge will go to Tuckahoe.
How about for the coaches?
The coaching staff, a very important aspect. They have to have a great game plan. They have to make adjustments. They have to recognize quickly what the opponent is trying to do. And I think halftime is going to be an important time to regroup and have all these things done.
And the players, mental mistakes today?
The players, they have to play this game. They must be mentally tough. They have to go into the game. The team that's going to win this game are the players that are going to go in knowing that they're going to win the game, they're expected to win the game, and if anything goes wrong, they're going to play hard and find a way to win. So it's mental toughness.
Well, the teams haven't played since '52, but they have played 22 times. And there you see it, Eastchester has the advantage, 14-7-1, including the last 7 games in a row. The last game they won by 7 points. Now, Eastchester's defense is their strong point. They played Byram Hills last week, one of these strengths in Section 1, and they may have lost 18-0, but if not for 2 offensive turnovers, may have been a 6-0 game. Eastchester does have the good defense. Now, when it comes to offense, well, they had a little bit of trouble last week. Jason DiGiacomo, their top runner, the tailback, had just 8 yards rushing on 9 carries. They're obviously going to look for a better performance today. Also, Jimmy Luciano, their fullback, will be back for John DiArco's squad, so that has got to help the Eagles right there. Now, they are also looking for a key effort from their quarterback, Brian Scully. That really could help his team out today. There you see Scully, number 5, as a runner, also as a thrower. Meanwhile, Tuckahoe, well, Joe Pallone, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire section, over 800 yards. And you can see Stabile there. They have 10 seniors of 11 players. There's Phyllis, the junior, only non-senior. He is their top runner. And Royal Garner had an interception early on this week, and he also had one last year, remember, Ray, against Valhalla, which was our TV game, which won the game for Ralph Nicoletti and the Tuckahoe Tigers. Now, looking at the Eastchester standings, Eastchester plays in League 3A, and they have a tough league. Byram Hills, Nanuet, undefeated 2-0, as is Westlake. Eastchester's 1-1, 0-1 in the league, though. with their youth, it's going to be very tough for them to compete this year in probably the toughest league in the entire section. Meanwhile, their schedule, well, doesn't get any easier. After this, well, they play Croton. That's the first time they've ever played Croton. Eastchester and Croton have never met. Then 5 tough league games: Sleepy Hollow, Westlake Woodlands, Nanuet, Pelham. John DiArco can't be looking forward to that. A killer schedule for the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Tuckahoe Tigers, well, they are right at the top of their league, expected to be when it's all over with Dobbs Ferry. Now, Hastings is surprised early with a record of 2 wins and no loss. Now, Tuckahoe's schedule after this one, if they can win this one, well, it gets kind of easy. Of course, you never want to say that, but at Millbrook, Rhinebeck, Hastings, they should be wins for Tuckahoe. At Pauling may be a tough one, and then Dobbs Ferry. Conceivably, we could have each team with a record of 6 wins and no losses when Tuckahoe meets Dobbs Ferry. By the way, you can see that game on Cable 3. And a few minutes ago, I had a chance to speak with today's coaches in today's contest, and both appeared a little bit nervous. We'll start off with the Eagles coach, John DiArco. All right, John, alumni of Eastchester, a lot has got to be going through your head here moments before kickoff.
That's very true. I've been waiting practically my entire life for this game. I think it'll be a great football game. I think it'll be a great sporting event for the entire community, and hopefully it'll be the start of a annual Eastchester Tuckahoe game.
Now, if you listen to Tuckahoe talk about the actual game, well, you guys have nothing to lose. You guys are going to be loose because you're the underdog and all that. Any truth to that?
Well, I don't pay too much attention to pregame talk. After 18 years, I've learned, you got to go out there and block and tackle, and that's where it's at on the field. Okay, and speaking of blocking and tackling, got to be concerned with David Phillips, a super player for the Tigers. Excellent athlete, has good speed. He's a fine football player, and we'll be paying special attention to him, no doubt about it.
All right, Ralph, in a little while, this thing is going to be packed here with people. Your kid's going to be able to handle this?
I think so. We've prepared. We're a veteran club. They're all seniors. A lot have been with me here all my 4 years that I've been here. We're like family. A couple of them are like my own sons. And hopefully we'll adjust to the crowd. But it's a football game, and that's where we're going to play it.
Need a big day from Phyllis today?
Absolutely. But he's not the only weapon we have. We expect Dave Phillips to be able to run the ball, but we couldn't throw that much last week because of the rain and the weather conditions. But Joey Palone's an excellent passer. We're going to throw the ball a little bit more than we did last week, and we still got an inside game between Terrell Savage and Anthony Solano, the senior who'll start today, and our other halfback, Anthony Stabile. So we'll hit you any way we can.
You guys committed a lot of penalties week number 1 for yourselves. Does that concern you today?
Oh, sure it does. We can't make the mistakes against a class team like Eastchester. We're going to have to be able to control the ball and not be able to make the mistakes that we did last week. We had 124 yards rushing last week, and that doesn't include the yardage that we lost in penalties. So if you take that, we were over 600. We had 120 yards in penalties, 3 scores called back. So we can't make those mistakes today.
Well, Ray, of course, Nicoletti hopes his team doesn't commit the number of penalties they committed in their first game against Bronxville. But for Eastchester, they're the ones basically who have to step up today if they're going to win.
Well, the keys for Eastchester to win this game, they must key David Phillips, a game breaker. He's the fastest man on the field. Don't give him any running room, and definitely don't kick to him. He must be contained. Establish Jimmy Luciano. He's big, strong, hard to bring down. Make a habit of handing off to him. Jimmy getting 4 or 5 yards to carry will give Eastchester ball control. They have to avoid long down situations. They can't get caught in the 2nd and 3rd down where they have long yardage to go. They have to throw short down situations to keep the defense honest. For Tuckahoe, they have to establish fullbacks Solano and Savage. This will spring the running and passing game and put extra pressure on the Eastchester defense. Defensive schemes. Constantly, Tuckahoe's going to have to mix it up. Don't allow Eastchester to get used to one defensive set. Slant, shade, blitz, loop, do it all. A balanced attack. Joe Palone is a talented quarterback. He can throw the ball. He has potent receivers. Throw the ball at times on 1st and 2nd down.
All right, now I'd look at our team facts graphic. And Eastchester has a good defense. Both teams with good defenses. Tuckahoe has not given up a point all season long. Meanwhile, the Eagles, well, only 18 points given up on the season. Now, in terms of streaks, Tigers, of course, have won 2 in a row. Eastchester has just lost 1. Eastchester been to a bowl just 2 years ago. doesn't seem likely they'll get back there this year. For Tuckahoe, it's been 6 seasons since they've made a bowl appearance. And on Cable 3, well, both of these teams do well. They have a combined record of 14-5, but only one of them can win it this afternoon. It's the Tuckahoe Tigers, the Eastchester Eagles, first time since 1952, and we'll have the kickoff for you when we come back on Cable 3.
This old man is back. The sucker is back. Go tell the whole world.
Give a damn when they object. I mean, we're here to win football game. They don't like it, then go somewhere else.
We are standing by, ready to go live.
We are going to go live.
Gordy will be with us over the course of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How you doing, Mick?
Fine, Kevin. Thank you.
The Mizlou Sports News Network, now showing on cable channel 1 or 99 on UA Columbia's Cablevision of Westchester's basic cable service.
October on the Movie Channel. The movie anytime you want one channel. October on the Movie Channel.
Ray, the team's on the field. Eastchester and Tuckahoe. Tuckahoe in the home black uniforms with orange letters. Eastchester with the white tops, the red pants, as the captains are at the middle of the field right now. Joe Pallone and Rocco Solano for the Tuckahoe Tigers. Brian Scully, one of the Eagle captains. We're going to go down to the referee, Jerry Percoco, right now for the coin flip.
Fellow officials. Don Hepner is the umpire. He'll be in the defensive backfield. Charlie Itchkowitz will be with Eastchester, and he'll have the chain crew. Jack Davidson is the line judge. He has the official clock. If there are any questions regarding time, you can ask any of us, but we'll have to get it from him, okay? Just a little instruction before the coin toss, fellas. The one thing that as a crew we ask you to do as captains is just to make sure that your guys play the game and play it with your bodies, okay? We don't tolerate an awful lot of mouth foul language. Immediately, we will throw a flag, okay? Is that understood? So we play the game, not with the mouth, fellas. Who's going to call it over here? That's a head, that's a tail. I'm going to let it go. You call it while it's in the air. Don, you want to give me a hand?
Tails.
Calls it tails.
It's a head.
He's got a head, so you have won the toss. You know what you'd like to do. You're going to defer the toss. Tuckahoe has won the toss, chooses to defer. You have an option now, son. You can either kick, receive, or you can opt to select the goal. You would like to receive the ball. You now have a choice, son. What goal would you like to defend? All right, can you spin around there, please? Can you spin around here, please? Eastchester will receive. Let's shake hands, fellas, and have a good ball game.
Okay, so the Eagles have the ball first as Tuckahoe wins the toss, defers to the second half. And Ray, surprise right there, the Tigers not taking the ball?
Well, not really surprised, because what their choice was, they want to get the ball in the second half, and I think it's a good move, but that's really up to the coach.
And Ray, right now, a moment of silence for Mitch Greco, former Eastchester quarterback and Tuckahoe JV coach.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you will stay standing, we will now play the national anthem.
So the national anthem complete. First time since 1952 these two schools have met. And Ray, of course, they haven't met since 52 because Eastchester was a bigger school, a Class B school throughout the years. Tuckahoe is C or a D school. But now with the declining enrollments, the schools both play in Conference 3 and a great chance for John DiArco and the Eastchester Eagles and the Tuckahoe Tigers to get the rivalry back.
The rivalry is rekindled as of this afternoon.
And there, Freddie DeMeo, one of the assistant coaches, fired up for Tuckahoe. And you don't think Tuckahoe wants this one?
Well, during the Star-Spangled Banner, you know, it was just so quiet. It was like the calm before the storm.
Well, also nice, a moment of silence for Mitch Grieco, who I was a quarterback under you. I know when you coached at Eastchester.
His junior year, and then he also started at quarterback his senior year. And he was a football coach here at Tuckahoe. And it's just a shame. It's hard for me to comprehend what has happened to him.
Unfortunately, dying a few months ago. The officials for today's ball game. The referee is Jerry Percoco. We just heard from Jerry on the coin toss. The head linesman, Charlie Itchkowitz. The field judge, Jack Davidson. The umpire, Don Hepner. It's Charlie Itchkowitz. So Eastchester will kick off, rather receive. Tuckahoe will kick off as we're about to get things going here. Big crowd expected, about 5,000 people. Doesn't look to be that many, but perhaps in the neighborhood of 2,000 to 3,000 so far. People still filing in. Royal Garner does the kicking for Tuckahoe. He kicks off, number 1. Also the split end. Also plays right cornerback, so he's on the field a lot. Receiving for the Eastchester Eagles, number 1, Elton Lee, a very fast member of the Eagles. Number 21, Jason DiGiacomo, and number 31, Michael Pamiato. And Pamiato takes it at the 10. He's past the 20. And he gets to about the 25-yard line where he is dragged down by Rocco Solano.
Boy, that's a good defensive hit right there. Anytime that ball carrier gets knocked back on his back, you know it's going to be a hard smacking hitting game.
Okay, the Eastchester offense. Their quarterback is number 5, Brian Scully. He is a senior. The fullback, Jimmy Luciano, missed the game against Byram Hills with a hand injury. He's back. Jason DiGiacomo, the best runner, the tailback. Mark Bernardini, Matthew Mariani, Paul Tedesco are the receivers. Runned away from Tiger Field in Tuckahoe, New York. Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and the first play goes to DiGiacomo. And he's hit hard by number 12, Joe Pallone. The offensive line for Eastchester, and they are a young line. 2 sophomores, 2 juniors. Ken Inzio, the best of them, the best lineman. Brian Vaughn, also the senior and tri-captain for the Eagles. Gain of 3 on that first down carry by DiGiacomo. Second down, 7 to go for Eastchester. Opening minute. There's the fullback, Luciano, and he gets maybe 2. And it'll bring up a third down as the Tuckahoe crowd is fired up as Rocco Solano is getting them fired up. So it'll bring up a third down situation. The Tuckahoe defense, they play a 4-4, the front 4. All seniors, Brian Mayer, Charlie Waters, Rocco Solano, who is one of the co-captains, and John Anzalone.
Stay to the outside! Stay to the outside!
Third down and about 5 yards to go. Eastchester, Luciano picked up 2. Scully keeps it himself, and he has a first down. Pallone makes the tackle. There is a flag down on the play. Great, good run right there by Brian Scully. So we're going to wait to see what this flag is all about.
Yeah, Brian Scully's a senior, 6'1", 150 pounds. He's a 2-year starter, transferred from Iona Prep. That was a good option play. He put the ball right into Luciano's stomach, kept it there for a while, pulled it out, went around the end, picked up some good yardage.
Looks like the penalty may be against Eastchester. The Tuckahoe team are talking to the referees, and it is, in fact. No, it's defensive holding, sorry, against the Tigers. So the first down will stand.
Right.
And
so
Brian
we have
Scully,
defensive holding. We're just going to tack 10 yards on from the end of the run. Right. It'll be first down, okay?
Thank you.
As Percoco says, 10 yards will be tacked on to the run.
So a costly penalty for Tuckahoe, which we talked about in the pregame, just absolutely crushed them in their only game this season against Bronxville. 8 penalties, 90 yards. Most of them for illegal motion, false starts, a lot of them downfield. Here a defensive holding penalty, giving Eastchester the ball close to midfield.
Now, see, that's a good play, that option play for Eastchester. What they have to do is really give that ball to Luciano, let him pick up the yardage, 3, 4, 5 yards a carry, and that option will work again. Again, defensively, you have to really contain the outside because Eastchester does have speed in the backfield.
1st and 10. Scully gives, no, he pitches back to DeGiacomo, who's met in the backfield by Royal Garner. There'll be a loss of a couple on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down. Royal Garner with a nice tackle out of the backfield. And speaking of the Tuckahoe defense, we'll finish up the linebackers and secondary. The linebackers, which has a freshman in there. David Phillips is a junior. Terrell Savage, just a freshman. Stabile and Forliano, experienced. And the secondary, Royal Garner, who just saw that nice tackle. Jason Crescenzo and Joe Pallone, who is the captain of the defense as well as the offense. He is the quarterback. 2nd down and 12. Luciano fumbles the football. I believe Tuckahoe has it. And they do have it. The Eagles with their first turnover of the ball game, and the Tigers have the football.
Looked like number 34 for Tuckahoe comes up with that fumble recovery. That's Terrell Savage, only a freshman. He's 14 years old, playing in a varsity game, a big game, a rivalry like this, and he comes up with a fumble recovery.
All right, Tuckahoe ball from the Eastchester 48-yard line, first play, and Ralph Nicoletti told us right before the game, this play will be a bomb to Royal Garner. Let's see what happens. Here it comes. And it is incomplete. And defended well by DeGiacomo, number 21 of Eastchester. And Ray, let's follow Royal Garner down the field as Tuckahoe likes to throw early.
You can see, now this is a waggle play. It's run out of that single wing. Now you can see DeGiacomo right there. You see how close he's to him. He has good speed. He's staying with them. He located the ball. Now he's going to go up. Both players go up, and DeGiacomo broke up. Great defensive play right there.
DeGiacomo just 5'7", 163 pounds.
But he's a strong young man. He bench presses over 275 pounds. Good speed.
2nd and 10, the first handoff of the day. And Phillips gets about 4 yards before he is gang tackled. Out of bounds, it'll be a 2nd down. Taking a look at the Tuckahoe Tiger offense. The quarterback, as we mentioned, is number 12, Joe Pallone. Pallone threw for over 850 yards last year. Outstanding leader, one of the best in all Section 1. Anthony Solano, the big fullback. Stabile and Phillips, 2 of the best halfbacks, are back. Royal Garner and Jason Crescenzo are the receivers. And everybody but Phyllis, a senior on that Tuckahoe offense. And Phyllis, a junior, had a big week last week. 3rd down for the Tigers. Pallone back to pass for the 2nd time. Goes long! And he just overthrows a diving Anthony Stabile inches away from a touchdown. You can see that Pallone is going to air it out today.
Well, you know, the thing that surprises me is Eastchester comes out, they start the game, they attacking the outside. Now, Tuckahoe comes out, they're throwing passes and attacking the outside. I think what you have to really do is establish that running game. You have to go from tackle to tackle. You have to get the yardage, and then from there you can go to play action, the passes to the outside. But the middle, working that middle is very important.
All right, Eastchester stopped Tuckahoe. John Anzalo, oh, fake! Pallone throws to Garner, he works, 1st down! Garner's still on his feet, and he's tackled inside the 15-yard line. Give the Tigers credit, they faked Eastchester out of their shoes.
But he was wide open. Wide open was Garner, right here to the outside, to the right. And now this pass has to be on the money. It's excellent. It's thrown right into his chest. Now look at Garner. He's trying to put the moves on. He puts a juke move there. Comes up 5 more yards. DeGiacomo coming in, making the tackle with number 74 for Eastchester. That was Herbert Lance, the linebacker.
Play goes 34 yards, Pallone to Garner, and now flags on the play. Looking at the offensive line for the Tigers, who we'll see for another series right here because of that trick play. 5 seniors, Mayer, Forliano, John Anzalone, Rocco Solano, co-captain, and Charlie Waters. Forliano, we'll get to a little bit later, all-league as a sophomore, went to Eastchester his junior year. Looking at the defense for the Eastchester Eagles, the front five, Anthony Piaquadio, and just a freshman, Doug DeBrunio, a junior, Ken Inzio, the best of the linemen, Brian Vaughn, and Jared Musano. The linebackers for the Eagles, well, they'll rotate three of them in and out. Steve Bucher and Anthony Codio and Lance Herbert will all play linebacker. And the secondary, all four juniors, Jason DiGiacomo, Mark Bernardini, John Morano, Matthew Mariani, and Ray. Coach John Diarco calls them the second coming of the Smurfs. They are 130, 145, 155, and 163 pounds.
But they are fast. Eric, on the program, it has Anthony Piquadio, number 69 as a freshman. He really is a junior. That's a mistake on the program.
Thanks, Ray. So we had a stoppage of play here. Tuckahoe has the ball at the 14-yard line, scoreless, 7:57 to go first quarter. If you just joined us, a lot of excitement early on a punting situation. They faked. Tuckahoe went from Pallone to Garner for 34 yards and a first down. Phyllis, straight ahead, close to the end zone. And now he goes into the end zone, but the whistles had blown.
And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to work the middle. Establish the middle, and this is exactly what Tuckahoe does. Right here, they run up there. It may have been a trap play. You can see Phyllis, he has the opening. Look, it breaks the tackle right there. Going, he's driving more. This is where you have to be careful because these Chester defense, they're going to be grabbing for that ball. You have to hold on to it or you may have a fumble.
Phyllis gained 9 on the play. The ball is now at the 5-yard line. Actually, so close to a first down, maybe he gained 10. We're going to see right here. We'll have a measurement. So Dave Phyllis and the Tuckahoe Tigers. And Ray, it's funny, it looked like the Tigers had been stopped. Eastchester maybe pick up some momentum, then the trick play right off the bat.
It's what you call an element of surprise. You catch someone, standing back on their heels. The element of surprise, it has to work. It's a gamble that you're taking, and it just went perfectly well for Tuckahoe. And this is giving them the momentum, the impetus to take it in. Now, right here, carrying the ball, you're going to have to be very careful. Make sure you have 2 hands on that ball. Really hold on to it because the Eastchester defense, they're going to be firing it out. They're going to get that face mask. They're going to put it right into that ball, trying to create a fumble.
So it is, in fact, a first down. Phyllis picked up 10. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Pallone keeps it, and he is thrown for a loss. No, he actually got rid of the ball. And Phyllis is thrown for a loss. So good pursuit right there for Eastchester. As Pallone definitely fakes the ball a lot, in and out of people's hands. Tough to follow the ball here at the time.
Well, it looked like it was, I don't know, it might have looked, really, it may have been a broken play because it just did not develop quick enough. But you can see the Eastchester defense, they really came across, they formed a new line of scrimmage. This is where the Tuckahoe offensive line is going to have to get toe-to-toe, grind it out, and really fire into that defensive line. This is it, right in the trenches.
Second down and 5. Close to the end zone. Listen to that, hit it. And it is, in fact. Now, one of the referees signaled for a touchdown, but the ball you can see is not.
It's third down. It's third down. What he's doing is putting his hand up into 3 fingers, showing third down. There's hitting on this play, right here. They're really coming across, bang, and then another shot coming in. It gets very tough down near the goal line.
So it'll be a 3rd and 1. Terrell Savage is in at freshman number 34. The fullback with Phyllis. Out left, here's Savage. And he goes into the end zone for a score.
That's all you need is to get that ball to break the plane right there at the goal line. Once that ball, oh, watch this play. Watch this play, the extra point.
Now Tuckahoe lines up for the extra point.
Now they're coming over.
The kicker, by the way, Anthony Solano, didn't miss an extra point all of 1989. Missed one, though, against Bronxville, the first game of 90, and that kick is up perfect. So midway through quarter number 1, the Tuckahoe Tigers draw first blood, and they lead the Eastchester Eagles 7-0. And right here, the 1-yard touchdown run for the freshman, Terrell Savage.
You'd see number 34, he's going to get the ball. That's Terrell Savage. Now he's got a low down Joe. Boy, look, he gets hit right there. He just made it right across that goal line.
And Ray, he was hit by Mark Bernardini right on the line, number 88.
Right on the line, but the ball had to cross the line of scrimmage. You can see him coming. Lower, right there, boom. Look at that hit. You see the face mask right into the ball. He had to hold on to it or it would have been a fumble. But he crossed the goal line, and that's the 6 points. Terrell Savage, he's a freshman, 5'9", 185 pounds. He's an above-average student. Not only does he excel in school, but on the football field. Last week against Bronxville, Savage had 17 carries and picked up 108 yards.
And Ray, 2 touchdowns, which were called back because of penalties. So not too bad for his first 2 games here as a freshman. Ralph Nicoletti will have him for 4 years here at Tuckahoe.
Might have another Blackwell here coming up. Blackwell plays for Dobbs Ferry.
Rail Garnett kicks off for the second time.
Palmietto takes the ball.
Handled by Palmietto at about his 10. And he gets up to about the 27-yard line, the exact position where the Eagles started their first drive. They will start their second drive. 1st and 10, trailing by a score of 7-0. And this is why they were trailing. Tuckahoe marched downfield, 8 plays, 48 yards. Took just over 3 minutes. Savage with the 1-yard run, but the key play, obviously the fake on 4th down.
The element of surprise.
Pallone to Garner. Tuckahoe and Ralph Nicoletti certainly don't mind doing some unorthodox things on the football field. Eagles trail by 7, 1st down. There's the Giacomo. And he has 3 yards for the Giacomo. It'll be 2nd down.
The Giacomo's a 3-year letterman. He's experienced, mature. I'm sure he's out there. He wants to get the ball, but you have to spring him loose. You have to get that blocking, that one block, whether it's a trap, but make the block so that he could get in the open. He has good speed, excellent. He's not afraid to mix it up. He'll go right in there and smack with anyone. Let's see if the Tuckahoe defense right here is changing. They're in a 4-4 before. And they're coming into almost like a 5 set. They're changing their defense. It looks.
Scully keeps it himself outside. He has a 1st down. Knocked out of bounds by Pallone at about the 40-yard line. Gain of about 11 on the play, and it's the 2nd Eagle 1st down.
Now, Brian Scully carrying the ball right here. He's a tough ball player. He was up at practice on Thursday. They were doing a hitting a drill, and boy, does he smack people. I mean, he could actually play linebacker also. He can really mix it up. Might even be one of the hardest hitters on the Eastchester Eagle team.
Hurry up! Hurry up, John! Come on.
Yeah, Ralph Nicoletti trying to get a player off the field in time, and I don't know if he did get off in time. It'll be close. Right up the middle to the fullback. Luciano, not much, maybe 3. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. And Ray, Luciano, who missed last week's game against Byram Hills because of a broken blood vessel in his hand, a big help to this Eagle team.
Well, he's a junior, 6'1", 215 pounds. He's a 2-year starter, and he was the president of his freshman and sophomore classes in high school. During the summer, he was a camp counselor for the town of Eastchester. He's a tough man to bring down. They have to establish him. He has to get that 4 yards of carry.
Scully keeps it. Pitches to the Giacomo. Fumble. Tuckahoe football. And on top of the ball is Charlie Waters, number 72. And turnovers which killed the Eagles against Byram Hills. Already 2 in the 1st quarter. The first one led directly to the Tiger score.
Well, it just looks as if Tuckahoe knows that play is coming. They're really coming up, pursuing hard, coming to the outside. They're right there immediately.
And there was a flag, but against
procedure.
The Eagles.
Eastchester declined. Declined. It's Tuckahoe ball.
At the 2nd Eastchester fumble. Here we still have 4:19 to go in the 1st quarter. Tuckahoe leads 7-0. And Ray Nicoletti likes to throw the bomb. You saw in the first play from scrimmage. Maybe again they'll go long here after the turnover. Eastchester maybe a little bit down right now. We'll see if they're going to go long again. Now it's Phyllis. Good running room. Phyllis breaks for a 1st down. There's a flag on the play. We'll see what it's against, but tough running by David
He does
Phyllis.
have the speed. You see when he moves, not only is he fast, but he can really set up his blockers, and it just puts a juke move on. Look at his feet. Look at his feet. You see how they go? They go one way, then the other way. He has that quickness. Number 22, Matt Mariani, and their good speed that he has catching Phyllis.
But Ray, it'll come back. A good run nullified.
An illegal block.
Another Tuckahoe penalty. That their second of the day.
Which is a 15-yard penalty.
And it'll be 15 yards.
It's going to go from that spot. It's going to be first down and about 15. All right. Let's go, Jack. Here we go.
So Ray, what in fact happens is the run does count, in fact, and it is a first down, but then after the play, illegal block, so it'll be first down and...
Well, what that illegal block is, in high school, you cannot block below the waist. I mean, years ago, you know, you can chop people down, but because of the knee injuries, they have that rule, you cannot block. So
still first down.
So if you block below the waist, it's an illegal block. It takes a little bit away from the game of football. You know, you want to chop people down. You have all kinds of drills. You have to hit them right in the chest, shoulder pads.
So first and 15 for the Tigers on Eastchester's 48. Phyllis gets it again. Great running room. He has a first down. He's still on his feet. And the Tuckahoe line must be blowing out the Eastchester defensive line because Phyllis was just untouched.
Dave Phyllis is only a junior. He's a 3-year star. This is a beautiful pitch. It's way outside. He has the corner. All he wants to do is square up his shoulders to the goal line and then put on the burst of speed right here going down the sideline. Excellent pitch. I mean, it wasn't a short pitch. He had a pitch way out there blown. It was right in his hands. Excellent.
Against Bronxville. Had all 3 touchdowns, a 2-yard run, a 12-yard run, a 95-yard kickoff run.
And against Bronxville, Phyllis picked up 229 yards rushing.
On 20 carries. And there, an inside handoff which fooled no one as Eastchester with a good play. Bernardini, number 88, again in on the tackle. It'll bring up a second down.
Now, Mark Bernardini was in on a tackle. He's a 2-year starter, plays basketball, and he's on a baseball team. In 1988, he was on that Eastchester Blue Devil team that came out second in the nation. They lost to Elgin, Illinois in the Blue Devil Championship for that #1 ranking.
And of course, that's where Eastchester gets a lot of their players from. This year, no JV, no modified freshman program. Inside handoff, Phyllis outside. He might get in the end zone. Touchdown!
That's the man. That's the man you had to key. At the top of the program, that was one of the keys for Eastchester. They had to key on Phyllis. They had to contain him. Give him a little bit running room, and he's beep, beep, the road runner.
David Phyllis, his 4th touchdown of the season. Solano for the extra point. The Tigers try to get the extra point really quick. They lead it 13-0. We mentioned Solano without missing an extra point all of 1989. Pallone holds, and the kick is up, and it is good. And we knew the Tuckahoe team was loaded this year, and they're coming out and proving it. They lead 14-0. And a look at David Phyllis, Ray. We know he's a great breakaway runner. He can drag people down. When he gets in the open field, though, watch out.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the blocking that counts. Anzalone's the center. Forliano's the guard. You can see a little counter play. It had to be a trap play. Look at the opening. Look at that blocking right there. Good hole. Now, he wants to get to the outside. He wants to skirt. He wants to put on that burst of speed. He sees the goal line. This is a great, great moment for him. Boy, it's a great feeling to score a touchdown.
And you know, he ran right by Elton Lee, Eastchester's fastest person right there, and Phyllis actually gained on him.
Great runner, that Phyllis.
14-0.
You know, you talk to a lot of high school backs. Boy, you know, you say you score a touchdown, it's a great feeling. But boy, if you're a lineman and you score a touchdown, that's even greater yet. You can see Fred DeMayo down there. He's the assistant coach for Tuckahoe. Boy, he is really the motivator. Boy, he gets these guys up. He wants to win this game. He wants to be the mayor of the town of Eastchester. Fred DeMayo.
Of course, Jim Greco, one of the assistant coaches, coached at Eastchester.
He certainly did. He
ironically.
was my assistant. He's the defensive coordinator here.
Coached at Eastchester from 76 to 80. Doing a fine job here at Tuckahoe as defensive coordinator. 14-0. Tigers have not given up a point so far now in almost 5 quarters on the 1990 season. Here's how the Tigers did it. 3 plays, 43 yards, penalties, but 2 plays combining for 59 to Phyllis alone. Over a minute it took, and Phyllis into the end zone. Should be a 34-yard run.
No, the interesting
no, I'm
thing,
sorry, 24.
The interesting thing that Jim Greco's the defensive coordinator at Tuckahoe. He coached at Eastchester, and at that time, Tony Archiello was a player for Eastchester, and now Tony Archiello is the defensive coordinator for Eastchester.
Scully on first down, runs out right. That's where Eastchester has had a success so far. And it gained a few to bring up a second down. That's a good point, Ray, about Archiello. In fact, before the game we were talking to the coaches. Tony Archiello actually owns a gas station, and he was fixing Freddie DeMayo's car, and when he went to pick it up, he had bumper stickers of Eastchester all up and down his car this week.
And they're very good friends, but Tony Archiello played when I was the head coach, and that year we had 6 shutouts, and he really loves to play, and he loves defense. And right now, he's a defensive coordinator of the Eagles. He devised his defense. He implemented it.
2nd and 9, Lee burst into the secondary. And very close to a first down. And we mentioned Lee, the fastest Eastchester runner. And there you can see burst. If they get him in the open field, he could be a weapon.
And he was a great, great player for the Blue Devils team when they went to play in that championship game against Elgin, Illinois. Now you can see Eastchester running to the right side. Ken Inzio is a junior, 6'1" on a program, 240 pounds. He's a 2-year starter. Next to him at right guard is Robert Hunt, a sophomore. He was a member of the Eastchester Eagles. The Eastchester Blue Devils.
Now, Ray, you would think
bowl championship team.
You would think the Eastchester line might be a little bit weak. No, just 1 senior on it, 2 softs, 2 juniors, but they were fired up. Played a great game against Bronxville, didn't they?
They certainly did. And the left guard, Brian Vaughn, he's a 3-year letterman on that line for Eastchester. So they have the young, they have the veterans, but still, it really boils down to blocking and tackling. And what you have to do is really block your man. But what Tuckahoe's doing, Greco's having his defense, he's changing him around all the time. He's giving a 4-look, a 5-look.
Lee picked up the first down, so 1st and 10, inside handoff to the fullback. Luciano fumbles again. Tuckahoe football. Fumble number 3 for Eastchester, and Tuckahoe is 2 for 2 in converting them into quick touchdowns. A nightmare for DeArco.
And see right there, Mike Feldman is center, snapping the ball to Scully. Coming the ball, there's the ball rolling around. Tuckahoe jumps on it. Number 40, don't know exactly who came up with that fumble, but they're really all over the ball. They're playing aggressive and with quickness on that Tuckahoe defense.
Let's see if we see a pass into the end zone here. 1st and 10 for the 33. There's the fake to Phyllis. There's the pass to the end zone. And again, Stabile is overthrown by a couple of yards. Close play. This Tiger team is certainly exciting. Air look at Joe Pallone's pass once again. And the fake to Phyllis.
Now he's going to step up to Stabile right here. Just a little bit over his outstretched arms.
That's 2 catches he came very close to having.
It's just like the opposite. You know, what you want to do is have a good running game so it can open up your passing game, and Tuckahoe is just reversing it. They're just using their passing game to establish their running game. They're doing the opposite.
Clock shows 1:02, the unofficial clock here from Tiger Field. Tuckahoe 14-0. Tigers, a pitch to Savage. On his feet.
Down inside, just the 23-yard line.
And he picks up about 8 yards, very close to a Tuckahoe first down.
Now you can see Savage running this ball. Now remember, he's only a freshman. Nice pitch. Now, what he has to do with experience, he'll get there. Lower that shoulder. Lower it right there. Lower it. Go shoulder pad to shoulder. You see how high he's running? That's inexperience. Once he gets that experience, he's going to lower that shoulder, and he's going to meet the defender shoulder to shoulder, bowl him over, and pick up the yardage.
Matt Smith and Elton Lee in on the hit. They're going to measure, in fact. So he gained 9 or 10 yards. We'll see. Eastchester trailing 14-0 right now. And Ray Tuckahoe's offensive line is just blowing out Eastchester's defense. It feels like as soon as Phyllis or Savage get the ball, they have 5 or 6 yards to run by themselves before the Eastchester secondary gets to them.
Well, that's because they're going to the outside, but at running to the inside, they're having a little difficulty. That one play where Phyllis picked up 10 yards was a counter or it was a trap play, but usually in the middle, they are tough. There you see Coach DiArco.
31-23-1, his career mark.
Last time he went to the bowl game was in '88. They beat Pleasantville in overtime. What an exciting game that was.
3rd and short. Pitch to Phyllis. Easily has the first down. Puts his head down for about 5 or 6 more.
Boy, and that play right there. Phyllis did the right thing. He was going inside, but at the last minute, he should have dipped and gone outside. He was going into the defensive pressure. He squared up his shoulders to the goal line. He dipped inside, but he stayed there. What he should have done was gone to the outside, and maybe he would have gone all the way because Gardner was back there to block for him to spring him loose.
Okay, 1 quarter is done here at Tiger Field in Tuckahoe. It's been all Tuckahoe so far. 3 Eastchester fumbles the story. Tigers 14-0. We're coming back quarter number 2.
Sports is more than just a way of staying in shape. It's a way of life. Your performance in our equipment and apparel has been our major concern for over 60 years. Allen's is a one-of-a-kind sports shop. You name it, we have it, from sports equipment to apparel. They're experts in every department to take the guesswork out of selecting. At Allen's, the customer is family. Worry-free parking in our secure lot at 249 North Avenue in New Rochelle.
Media clutter can block the airwaves and your head with too much of the same old static quo. If the choices leave you flat, turn to the Travel Channel. Blockbuster Weeks only on the Travel Channel. A new travel miniseries every other week featuring themes such as the world's great ports of call, honeymoon destinations, outdoor adventures, winter escapes, high society hideaways, and much more. Escape with Blockbuster Weeks exclusively from the Travel Channel.
Opening play, quarter number 2. There's Joe Pallone, number 12, the quarterback for the Tigers. They lead 14-0 Tuckahoe with the football. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Savage. And he runs to the left side again where he is hit and tackled by a couple Eagles. Number 54, Anthony Codio. In on the hit, it'll bring up a 2nd down. Savage got about 5.
And Savage did his running behind Charlie Waters, the left tackle at Tuckahoe, and the left guard is Rocco Solano. You know, I'm really watching number 77, the right guard for Tuckahoe. That's Tom Forliano. As a sophomore, he played for Tuckahoe. He was all-league as a junior. He played for Eastchester, and now as a senior, he's back at Tuckahoe. He's playing against his own teammates from last year.
Tuckahoe originally was his school, though it feels more at home here at Tuckahoe. Savage gets it, gets away from a tackler, still on his feet. He's finally out of bounds, and good play by the fullback, Tyrell Savage, avoiding a big loss right there with a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th effort.
Well, Savage is strong. He's tough. You have to bring him down. You got to wrap around his legs, wrap him around the ankles. You can't bring him down by hanging onto his shoulders, his waist, or his hips, because those legs are going to keep pumping and driving.
And there our camera crew on the floor. There we go, thumbs up. Amazing they can do that, goof around, yet get all the shots for you. Just over a minute gone, 2nd quarter. 3rd down and 2 as Savage picked up 3.
This is where the Eastchester defense right now, they're on a man-for-man.
There's a fake. Stabile, still on his feet. DiGiacomo finally brings him down. But it appears like he has plenty for a 1st down, and a little bit of a counter play there.
Tackle was made by Jason DiGiacomo. The play went for a 1st down.
Ball is inside the 5 at about the 3. Got the first carry for Anthony Stabile today, gain of 4. So now 1st down at the 3. We'll see if they go to their fullback, Savage. No, again to Stabile. And he's up and over. He fumbles the ball in the end zone. And I believe a Tiger fell on it. Touchdown. And And Ray, I believe the
looks like he's hurt.
The player who fell on, I believe, number 56, John Anzalone, the center, appears to be a little bit injured. A little tough getting up. It is Anzalone.
Anzalone's a 2-year starter. He averages over 40 yards in a punt. He's an excellent center, and you don't want to lose that man. It seems that when he jumped on that ball, there were Eastchester men jumping on it, and it may have knocked the wind out of him. Just have him sit up a little bit, take deep breaths. He'll be all right.
So if we could see it again, I believe the ball was fumbled in the end zone. Anzalone should get credit for recovering the fumble in the end zone for the touchdown.
Let's see, there's the ball right there. Boom, it's knocked loose before he hit the ground. There's the ball. There, now watch, you see where, I don't know, he knocked his wind out.
You can see he took a hit from one of the Eastchester defenders. It's 20-0. Anthony Solano will try to make it 3 for 3. $10-17 to go. And it's perfect. It's 21-0.
The kick is good. It's over the fence, through the trees, and there's a lost ball. The kids back there behind that fence, they got that ball, man. They're running home with it.
21-0, the identical score Tuckahoe defeated Bronxville with in their first game of the season. And according to Ralph Nicoletti, we weren't happy with that 21-0. We wanted to be in the 40s in that game. This team is loaded.
They returned the ball. Kids back there, that's really nice of them. They returned that football. That's good.
And again, to look at the touchdown and the fumble. There you can see the ball gets loose into the end zone. And here it's just 50-50. Anzalone alertly on top of it. He also, the Tuckahoe punter, averaged more than 40 yards a punt last year, which on this level is just incredible. John Anzalone, 6 feet 205, the senior. Ray, you talking about the line. We've been talking about their line blowing people out all day. There, Anzalone alertly falling on the ball, and he appears to be okay.
Oh, yeah, these guys are ready to play this game. You know, they don't want to go out for anything. I know Tom Forliano is hurting. He has, his ribs are injured. They put an extra pad underneath his shoulder pads. They want to play in this game. This is an epic confrontation. They're going to remember this. It was the first time in 38 years that they have met. The rivalry is rekindled.
So the Tigers will kick off. Royal Garner.
Oh, they're saying that Stabile gets credit for that touchdown because the official called that he was over.
Palmiero takes it for the Eagles. Still on his feet, and he gets it over the 35-yard line, giving Eastchester good field position at about their 37-yard line. Well, from our vantage point, we did see a few replays. It didn't look like he was down, and the ball should have been into the end zone.
But maybe the official saw the ball cross the plane, and as soon as it did, he gave the touchdown signal, and then the fumble later.
Don't let up! Don't let up!
Okay, so unofficially, it will go as a 3-yard touchdown run then from Anthony Stabile. Either way, it's 21-0. Brian Scully's got his work cut out for him. And that's the Giacomo, and he gets some good yardage, maybe 4 on the play to bring up a second down. The Giacomo gets the brunt of the Eastchester carries.
Now, winning on that tackle was Tom Forliano, the linebacker for Tuckahoe. He's the leading tackler on the team.
Tommy! Get in the huddle!
The third Tuckahoe touchdown looked like this. 6 plays, 33 yards, 231. Stabile, 3 yards into the end zone for the score. The point was good. Like we mentioned, looked like from our vantage point, Anzalone fell on it. But if Stabile was over the goal line, the fumble would have been immaterial at that point.
Right.
And it's 21-0 Eagles.
Eastchester has to put on a drive. They have to get a touchdown. They can't go into the locker room at halftime being down by 21 points.
That's what they're down with now. And again, the halfback, the Giacomo, getting good yardage. Actually, that was Lee, the backup halfback. Elton Lee, number 1, just a sophomore, 5'7", 145. Elton Lee. And it'll bring up a 3rd down situation in short.
He's on a track team at Eastchester. He runs indoor and outdoor track. See, if Eastchester goes in and they score, this will give them a boost. You give them confidence. Hey, we can score. We did it. We can do it again. That's what you have to tell them at halftime. But going in the locker room at halftime with 3 touchdowns down, it's going to be a little difficult. You have to get that confidence, knowing that you can score.
Foul, 7-0 black, unsportsmanlike conduct, first down.
Ray, 15 yards, unsportsmanlike conduct against Rocco Solano, the co-captain of Tuckahoe.
This is where you have to keep your poise, your composure. You cannot do anything stupid. Just maintain your poise.
So 15 yards, first down at the 40 of Tuckahoe. Best field position, Eastchester Lee. And he's very close to a first down, thrown out of bounds by Pallone.
And Jason Crescenzo.
And from what we've seen of Elton Lee, running the ball very well right now for Coach John Diorca.
Well, Elton Lee was a Eastchester Blue Devil player. He also can kick extra points.
3 carries, 23 yards so far for Lee. The ball at the 30-yard line. Second down and 1, 8.5 to go in the first half. 3 Eastchester fumbles have led to 3 Tiger scores, 21-0. Lee again gets it, and he fooled nobody right there on top of him for Tuckahoe. Fired up. Number 24, Anthony Stabile.
Good hit by Stabile there, just coming right in. That's the way you have to play defense. You can't hit people. You have to collide with them, run through people. It seems that when Eastchester runs to the right side, they pick up better yardage. You have the tight end over there, Paul Tedesco. He's only a junior. Ken Inzio, the right tackle, is a junior. Robert Hunt, the right guard, is only a sophomore. The center, Mike Feldman's a junior. All these guys are coming back.
Eagles start just 2 seniors on offense. Third down, 3, Scully himself keeps it, and he gets very close to the first down. I believe he has enough. We'll have to wait and see where Jerry Pericoco, the referee, places the ball. It'll be very close. We'll see. Looking at the first quarter stats, 4-3, first down in favor of Tuckahoe. Rushing yardage, 72 for David Phillis. 95 yards to Eastchester's 40. Passing, just 1 completion, 34-0 Tuckahoe. Total yards in favor of Tuckahoe, and there the big stat, the turnovers, all against Eastchester, all fumbles, and they all led to Tiger scores. Time of possession right down the middle. 7:24, counting in the first half. It was, in fact, an Eastchester first down. They now have 5 to Tuckahoe's 4 on the game. Yet they trail 21-0. And movement right there, looked like number 72 on the defense. Charlie Waters moved unless he was drawn.
Well, see, what you have to do when you're on a defensive line, you can't go by sound, because Scully can go up there and go hut, 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 and he can draw you off. You have to just look, concentrate at the ball. As soon as the ball moves, then you go.
4 penalties, 35 Tiger yards.
There's Scully right here.
Well, it is. So it's called against Tuckahoe, the defense. It'll be a first down and 5 yards to go.
He may have been drawn off by one of the offensive linemen, but still the defensive line has to look at that ball and only go on ball movement.
First down, carry. To the tailback to Giacomo back in the game, and he's very close to another Eastchester first down. Perhaps just short. They may call for a measurement. No, he does have it. So a gain of 5 for DiGiacomo, and Eastchester certainly on their best drive of the day, moving the ball. They're now inside the Tiger 20 at the 19-yard line, Ray, looking to get on the board. They haven't got, for 5 quarters in a row now, they've been shut out, though.
They have to have a good drive. They have to go into scores so that they go in at halftime with confidence that they can score against the Tigers.
Lee with the run, and Lee picks up 5. Actually, I mentioned 5 quarters, 7 straight quarters the Eagles haven't scored. The second half against Bronxville, the entire game against Byram Hills, and the first quarter here against Tuckahoe. So threatening to do that here, though. Second down from the 14-yard line, 5 to go for the Eagles. Brian Scully still has not thrown a pass. They trail 21-0. Scully keeps it, rolls out right, and has to duck down nowhere. Maybe a yard, if that. It'll bring up a third down situation. It appears though Scully's going to the right a lot on the fake with the option. Appears following his blockers to the right side.
Yeah, well, what's happening is that when they're going to the right, they're putting a tight end to the right side. So what Tuckahoe defense is doing, they're overloading to the tight end side and expecting something to come there, and they're matching and meeting power with power. Now let's see if Eastchester goes to the tight end side now. Who's left now? Let's see if they go to the left.
3rd and 4, they go to Lee, and he's tripped up, stays on his feet. And it depends where they mark it. He gets inside the 10-yard line
by Rocco Solano and Anthony Stabile.
And I believe he's going to be short. It should be a 4th and about 1, Ray.
See, they're running to the tight end side.
And it is, and of course, with Ken Inzio on the right side, one of the best linemen in the league, you want to follow him. You want to utilize his size and his blocking ability.
But what happens if Eastchester is always going to be running to the tight end side? If the tight end is right or left, that's going to give it away. So Tuckahoe can overload their defense. They can slant to that side and be ready to take away the off tackle or a play to the outside.
Yeah. Some of the crowd in attendance as we've come to our 4-minute warning. And the crowd is pretty big today here. Eastchester and Tuckahoe, neighboring towns. Eastchester actually a town, Tuckahoe a village within the town. A lot of these kids on the teams know each other. They've went to elementary school. They've played Blue Devils and Little League with each other. And here they are going against each other. We mentioned one of the Tuckahoe starters, Forliano, as a senior now, as a junior, went to Eastchester, played on the Eastchester team last season. So the teams are that close.
And you have Luciano, who's the offensive coordinator of the Eastchester team. His son, Jimmy, is the fullback, and he actually coached some of the guys from Tuckahoe when they were playing Blue Devils and younger. So he knows the guys from Tuckahoe almost as well as he knows the guys at Eastchester.
And John DiArco, Eastchester's head coach, actually his job, he works at the Tuckahoe Community Center. He runs the Tuckahoe Community Center. And we mentioned his defensive coordinator, Mitch Grieco, head coach at Eastchester from 1976 to 1980 off and on.
Well, Jim Grieco lives in Eastchester, coaches at Tuckahoe.
4th down play, and it's ahead for a 1st down to the fullback, Luciano.
If Eastchester goes in here right now, it's going to give them a good boost, and they're going to have the confidence that they're going to need to really come back, which they're going to have to do right now.
That's the best running of the day by Luciano. He's been plagued by the fumble so far in the first half, but there, a good run, giving the Eagles a 1st down at Tuckahoe's 5-yard line. Goal to goal, clock showing 3:40 and counting, as you can see on your screen. 21-0, the Tigers lead. Eastchester trying to get in. Tuckahoe has not yielded a point all year.
They're going unbalanced line, unbalanced left.
Lee, thrown for a loss. And I believe the fumble was after the whistle. It'll still be Eagle ball, but good play by Tuckahoe. Charlie Waters, the first to hit Lee, who had nothing there as this partisan Tuckahoe crowd here wanted to fumble.
Eastchester's mixing it up. They're really getting very, very close. They come out in an unbalanced line, and what they're trying to do right there is trying to get 2 blockers on 1 man. If Tuckahoe defense does not adjust that unbalanced line, then the advantage will go to Eastchester in their blocking.
2nd down, the ball at about the 6-yard line.
Oh, they might have picked it up right there. Look at it. Look at it. Greco's going out now. Might have picked it up that they were unbalanced, so he's going to make sure that they make the adjustment.
Got the first timeout called for the Tuckahoe Tigers. It is 21-0. And you know, Ray, it's funny. Our crew here is from all over the place, but it just so happens that a large majority of us have actually spent a lot of time at Eastchester, including me, including you. And there we are, the Cable 3 Eagles, John Curdio, of course, working on camera for us today.
He was in my class. I taught him in phys ed.
Of course, longtime sports director at Cable 3.
Paul Curdio was in my class.
Our director today, as always, 1982.
Chris Chulo was in my class.
Co-produces these football games with me.
And Eric Lubitz I had in my phys ed class. All you guys.
And I failed Jim, as I remember. And there you are, 54, 24, and 4. What was that, 33 shutouts? Boy, you love to coach defense.
10 years, yeah. I really felt that defense will win you championship, offense will win you games, and I felt that if the defense was good and their job was to keep the score down and it was up to the offense to win the game.
And, you know, talking to Dom Ciceri, Eastchester's athletic director, a couple days ago. He told me, you know, don't let Kurowski fool you. He's a sweetheart of a guy, but boy, when he coached, boy, he was all seriousness on those sidelines.
Well, you really have to be that way. You have to, you know, really be fundamentally sound, have the guys execute.
Second down and goal. DiGiacomo, touchdown! And you talk about momentum swings. The first score the Tigers have let up all season. The Tiger side is quiet. The Eastchester side a little boisterous. It's 21-6.
This is a good run here by DiGiacomo, and this is exactly what Eastchester needed. They had to get onto the board. Now what that does, that gives them confidence, hey, we can score on them now.
And right now Eastchester's
Scully right there, handing off. Now watch DiGiacomo. You see that? He was going off tackle. The hole was clogged now. He just skirts to the outside. With his speed, takes it in, crosses the goal line. A great feeling right there.
Second touchdown of the year for DiGiacomo. Eastchester only has 3. He'll see it again.
You can see him right here. You see him going off tackle? And then he gave a foot, went to the outside. Good move right there.
At a good high angle, get a chance to see the line blocking, opening the hole for DiGiacomo outside. Eastchester continuing to have some success running outside. Don't forget, they didn't fumble 3 times. They may be leading this ballgame.
Exactly. Those penalties will kill you. And that's what I said at the top of the program. You really have to have your composure and poise. You cannot make mistakes.
Now,
going off sides or a fumble, anything like that, those turnovers. But right now, with Eastchester going in, it's going to give them the confidence. That's what you have to do. You have to score. Once you score once, you know you can do it again. And I think coming out in the second half, we're going to have one heck of a ball game here.
Eastchester's kicker is Mark Bernardini, number 88. The question is, will they go for 2? Will they go for 1? They're going for 2. Maybe a little risky here, trailing by 15 points.
It's unbalanced line left.
From the 2.5. Let's see. Going wide to DiGiacomo, he has nothing. And the Tigers stuff it up, number 29 for the Tigers in on the tackle, and that is Anthony Solano. The starting fullback offensively, hasn't played much today, has a bad ankle. Also with Terrell Savage doing so well as a freshman. Could afford not to have him play. And there you see it again, and this point may come back to haunt the Eagles.
You can see right here, when you cut back into the inside, you're going right into the pressure of the pursuing defense. On that play, what you want to do is really try to get to the outside and skirt it, but the defense for Tuckahoe really did a good job feathering it to the sideline.
And once again, the only points Tuckahoe has given up so far this year.
You see him right there, off tackle. Now he's going to the outside. Square your shoulders to the goal line, take it in, straight ahead.
And you know, it looks nice and easy there, no one around there, but the blocking was good. Jimmy Luciano, the fullback, threw a key block, which enabled DiGiacomo to get outside to the right side.
He sprung him open.
That's probably something Tuckahoe's going to want to talk about at halftime. Why Scully and DiGiacomo Lee having some success getting out to the right side in the open. Of course, Eastchester will have some talking of their own to do there. You look at Lee, number 1 for the Eagles. It took the Eagles 10 plays. They ground out a lot of clock, a lot of yards, 62 to be exact. DiGiacomo with the touchdown and the point no good, so it's 21-6, a lot of points so far here in the first half. Neither team has punted so far today, as our statistician Ralph Romano tells us. Although the Tigers did have one chance, they were going to punt. And of course, that fake early on, the 34-yard pass play, Pallone to Garner. Eagles will kick off. Bernardini, and he kicks it short. And Solano falls on it at his own 49-yard line. And maybe the Eagles looking to cash in on some momentum right there, trying for an onside kick, or what happened there, Ray?
Well, that was a good move right there by Solano. Didn't try to run with the ball or anything. I mean, you're in excellent field position. Get the ball, just lay on it. But right now, you know, you have Tuckahoe, they can throw the ball. You have Pallone, he threw close for 1,000 yards last year. He has potent receivers. Boy, you know, this is a dangerous situation right here. I mean, it could be one long bomb, and boom, they can score again. And they can go to that right side. They have Forliano at guard. Brian Mayers is the right tackle, a senior, 6'1", 220. Jason Crescenzo. They're all seniors, experienced.
Don't have a lot of time, though. Under 3 in the half. Phillips, left side. He has running room. And he's at the 20-yard line. David Phillips has just picked up 31 yards. This man can run. Unbelievable. And we're going to come back with the final 2 minutes plus. Give the first half from Tiger Field. 21-6 Tigers.
This fall, for good things and good times, order Showtime and the Movie Channel. You'll get great movies and comedy and music and more great movies and original entertainment and more great movies. In fact, you get a movie anytime you want one. So, if you want good things and good times, pick up the phone and call your local cable operator and tell him you want Showtime and the Movie Channel.
All right, back for the final 2+. Clock shows 2:49. Although it is unofficial, I believe there is actually less than that. The ball is on the 20-yard line. David Phillips with a beautiful run, 31 yards. Ray has fullback in him, and he has halfback in him. He's a big, strong kid, 5'10", 160, but he plays even bigger, doesn't he?
He's just unbelievable. He's having an outstanding afternoon, and the play calling on that last play was very good because now Phillips, see now look, he's a lean, mean human wrecking machine right here. He's just picking up the yardage. Now this is a good move because right here he goes to the sideline. That stops the clock. He goes out of bounds, stops the clock, and then if no one makes the tackle on him, he just sprints down there for a touchdown. He's having a tremendous afternoon.
First down from the 20 for the Tigers. Pallone back to pass. He's looking for the end zone. He goes for Stabile. And it is intercepted, I believe. And it is the Eagles.
Looks like Mark Bernardini comes up with the interception. That's a key play right there.
And Mark Bernardini has played a whale of a first half, in on almost every single tackle for the Eagles there with the key interception. Member of the second coming of the Smurfs, just a junior, 6 foot, 155. He the biggest of the secondary of Eastchester's other three people back there, 5'7", 5'8", 5'8". He used his height there, and he had the interception.
But he did a great job. He was in the middle. He just came over, looking at the ball. He concentrated the ball right into his hands, comes up with a very, very important interception right there. He stopped, possibly a touchdown for Tuckahoe right there.
Now, Eastchester on their own 20 with the interception in the end zone. Maybe just look to kill out the clock right here, go in the end zone, knowing they got on the board, trailing by 2 scores. You don't want to turn it over right now deep in your own territory.
Maybe Tuckahoe went to the passing game, went to the well just once too often there.
Stabile was double teamed. Eastchester's going to pass. First time we'll see Scully's arm. And this will be intercepted by Crescenzo. And Lee makes the tackle at the 40-yard line, and probably not a smart move right there.
Look at Jason Crescenzo's back there. He's a 2-year starter. Last year he was a split end. He's one of the best receivers on Tuckahoe's team. He's a deep. You know he's going to come up with this catch. He has great hands. That's a key interception right there. He's a pitcher on a baseball team. Back-to-back interceptions.
Tuckahoe with a dynamite secondary. Royal Garner had an interception against Bronxville last week. Joe Pallone, of course, dangerous back there. So now the Tigers with another chance from Eastchester's 38. Killer field position. Phillips on the right. And Eastchester stuffs him up. If he can't get outside, the Tigers have had some trouble running the ball, as you pointed out. But once they get outside, it's all Tigers. So it'll be a second down right now for Tuckahoe, as Phillips doesn't get much.
See, the way, well, I don't want to coach up here, but I'm getting so anxious. You know, if you establish the running game, and then you're forcing the defense to stop the running game, now you come with a play action, then your receivers will be open.
Second down, pitch to Phillips. That's the play that worked last time. He breaks away from a tackler. The Giacomo trips him up. Broke away from Brian Vaughn, the left end, but the Giacomo made the nice tackle. It'll bring up a third down. Tuckahoe, Ray, has had 5 possessions here in the first half. 4 of them started in Eastchester territory. And it's got to be so demoralizing for Eastchester's defense when that happens. And the only time they had it in their own territory is at their 49. Well, so field position, name of the game, they've had it.
Brian Vaughn did a good job there. What he did, he stopped Phillips a little bit. He had Phyllis had to regain his balance, and then Jason comes up with a nice tackle.
Under a minute unofficially in the first half. 21-6, passing play. Poloni's got to hurry. Sack. And how about Ken Inzio, number 72, been double teamed much of the first half, breaks loose and sacks Polone.
Now Ken Inzio, number 72, he's a 2-year starter. He comes in with the pressure. Last year he was honorable mention All-League. He's a hockey and a baseball player, a 3-sport man in high school. Tough, mean, nasty. He's what you call one of those true trench soldiers.
And Ray, now surprised Eastchester not calling a timeout. I believe they have one left. As Tuckahoe just letting the clock tick down on 4th down. Figured maybe Eastchester would call a timeout and try to set up a block, but it did not happen. Tuckahoe is called for delay of game. 13-second show on the clock unofficially. Though that time they meant to commit the delay of game penalty. That is their 5th penalty of the day. For 40 yards, Eastchester has not been penalized. Now look at the first punt of the day. John Anzelo, number 56. Recall he was injured a little bit earlier. He is back in the ballgame. Averaged more than 40 yards last year. High snap. But he gets a good kick. Takes a great roll. And it may go all the way into the end zone. And it does. What a kick, Anzelo.
It's a touchback.
That should be
a
it.
54-yard punt.
That should be halftime.
A 54-yard punt. The clock shows 0, and it is halftime. So the punt will be the final play of half number 1. Here from Tiger Field, it's been all Tuckahoe. They lead the Eagles by a score of 21-6. When we come back, we'll have our halftime activities for you. 21-6 Tuckahoe.
Go up against the Irvington Bulldogs in an Interleague Conference 3 matchup. You can catch all the action on Cable 3.
I'm really proud of Iona. It's a great school.
At Iona College, personal teaching is the tradition.
Small classes, fully qualified faculty, and no teaching assistants ever.
The honors program is super. If you're good and you work hard, everybody's behind you.
We attract Fulbright scholars, major national grants. That says a lot about Iona.
Quality education, that's why we're here, all of us.
The proof is in the people at Iona.
Back at the half, 21-6. The Tuckahoe Tigers leading the Eastchester Eagles in this Conference 3 Interleague matchup on Cable 3. As we usually do at halftime on Cable 3, we'll take a look at our weekly top 5 polls, starting first with Conference number 1, the large schools, and the number 1 team, Scarsdale. Of course, this will change as our poll comes out Tuesdays on extra points. Scarsdale, number 1, they are 1-1. New Rochelle, undefeated. Number 2, likely to move up to the top spot. Roosevelt, undefeated. North Rockland, 2-1. And Mayapack looks like the class of their league, 3-0, number 5. In Conference number 2, well, there's always Indians at the top, be it Ossining or Nyack. Ossining is the number 1 team this week, undefeated. Yorktown also 3-0, a strong team. Greeley is also 3-0. They upset Nyack a couple weeks ago. Tappan Zee undefeated at number 4, and Somers also 3-0. Surprising start they've had, breaking to the top 5 at 3-0. In Conference 3, the Nanuet Golden Knights, the class of Conference 3, 2-0. Byram Hills, they shut out this Eastchester team last week, also 2-0. These Tuckahoe Tigers, this is their 2nd game of the season, 1-0, but they could be as good as anybody from what we've seen today. And Dobbs Ferry, also 2-0. They've been awesome so far. Edgemont, off to their best start in recent memory. They are 3-0. Looking at the other games being played this coming week, on Friday, it'll be Beacon at number 5, Somers, Suffern at number 5, Mayapack. Of course, Somers in Conference 2, Mayapack in Conference 3. On Saturday, where the majority of the games will be played, You can see the #1 Scarsdale Raiders at White Plains. Big rivalry. That game played at Parker Stadium in White Plains. New Rochelle, Mount Vernon, another rivalry there. That played at Memorial Field. Roosevelt gets a tough test with Spring Valley, and North Rockland has an easy one against Clarkstown North. Other games on Saturday in Conference 1, Mamaroneck hosting Lincoln. Mamaroneck off to a poor 0-3 start. And there you see a couple other contests on Saturday in Conference 1. In Conference 2, the #1 and the #3 teams go at it. Greeley and Ossining, and that could be for the league title as well. Yorktown has Poughkeepsie, which shouldn't be too tough for them. They should remain undefeated. #4, Nyack will take on Ryan. You can see that game on Cable 3. Rye team has a good team this season, but they'll have to face a Nyack team, which is just awesome, and Lords will play Hudson. In Conference #2, the rest of the schedule next week, Brewster at Kennedy. Brewster's got a tough schedule. You can see Harrison-Portchester, a rivalry game right there. For those schools, Tappan Zee hosting Saunders of Yonkers. In Conference #3, Nanuet, the #1 team, travels to Pelham. Pelham with a brutal schedule. Nanuet, though, hasn't appeared great so far on offense this season, though their defense has been good. Byram Hills, Pleasantville, not an easy one at all for Byram Hills. Dobbs Ferry, Idle, Tuckahoe next week travels to Millbrook. Shouldn't be too tough, although they could suffer a letdown after today, and Edgemont should have an easy time of it against Irvington. Other Conference 3 matchups, Ardsley against Briarcliff, Rhinebeck and Bronxville. Someone will be getting on the win column after that game is over. Eastchester's next game at home against Croton. A couple of the other games, Sleepy Hollow Woodlands, a big rivalry. Dover at home against Spack and Kill. So it's 21-6. The Tuckahoe Tigers lead the Eastchester Eagles. And when we come back, we will have the halftime stats for you. We'll have the scoring summaries, and we'll talk about it after this on Cable 3.
Now the tri-state area gets live local forecasts 7 days a week on the Weather Channel. Get the weather information you want when you need it. If you're planning an outing, a trip to the beach or mountains, for any weather need, tune in to Tri-State Weather every afternoon, plus weekend mornings at 27 and 57 minutes after the hour. Get the weather forecast that makes a difference to you and get it more often. Tri-State Weather. It's accurate, it's convenient, and it's only on the Weather Channel.
A lot of scoring in the first half here from Tiger Field. Tuckahoe had the brunt of it, leading Eastchester by a score of 21-6 at the half. Look at the first half stats, and we'll see when we look at them. First downs is surprisingly Eastchester's. Tuckahoe did not have a first down in that second quarter. Yards rushing, well, Tuckahoe 132-88 for the Eastchester Eagles. 105 of those yards to Tuckahoe's outstanding junior tailback, David Phyllis. For Eastchester, Elton Lee leads them in rushing with 30 yards. Passing, Eastchester did not complete a pass, only attempted one, and that was intercepted. Tuckahoe, Pallone is 1 for 4 on that beautiful fake to Royal Garner, which went for 34 yards. Total yards are the Tigers. Key stat of the half, 4 turnovers for Eastchester, 3 fumbles, which led directly to all 3 Tuckahoe scores, and time possession in favor of the Eagles. On their touchdown drive, they grounded out. Looking at the scoring pages for half number 1, we start off with the Tigers. Terrell Savage from 1 yard, and he went in. That after the first Eastchester fumble was 7-0. After the Eagles fumbled again, David Phyllis ran it in from 24 yards out, and it was 14-0 Tuckahoe after 1 quarter. In the second quarter, Tuckahoe made it 21-0 following the third Eastchester fumble. Stabile had a 3-yard touchdown run, fumbled into the end zone, but after he was over the line, 21-0, and the Eagles, toward the end of the second quarter, got on the board. Jason DiGiacomo, a 6-yard run to the outside, and it was 21-6 as the 2-point conversion failed. And Ray, with the score 21-6 right now, Eastchester with a very young team, DeArco's youngest team, they play over 20 people. Tuckahoe plays 10 or 11 people both ways. Any effect right there for the second half? Is Eastchester going to be more rested or not really?
I really don't think so, because when you're in high school and you're geared and you are trained, you're going through practice to go both ways the entire game, you really get used to it. If you're playing offense one game and then the next game you have to play offense and defense, then it would have an effect on you. But by going both ways, you're used to it. No effect at all.
Okay, we're going to come back. Second half kickoff. Tigers by 15. Stay with us on Cable 3.
In October, there are over 120 great movies and specials to choose from on Showtime. You can see 90 blockbuster movies, including the Showtime exclusives Dead Poets Society and Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Over 20 original shows like National Lampoon's Comedy Playoffs and Showtime Coast to Coast. Plus 15 family time programs like Kids TV and Storybook Classics and much more. Showtime, for people who value their entertainment.
New York State instituted the nation's first mandatory safety belt use law in 1985. 1,216 lives have been saved, 88,612 injuries prevented, and $3.1 billion in accident-related costs avoided. The probability of being injured or killed in an automobile accident during the course of a 75-year lifetime is 86%. Wearing your safety belt reduces that probability by half.
Approximately 2,500 people on hand here to watch the Eastchester Eagles, the Tuckahoe Tigers. First time they've played football, Ray, in 38 years. In the first half belongs to the Tigers. They lead it by a score of 21-6, but Eastchester may have picked up some momentum with that score at the end of the half.
That's exactly what they needed. They needed that confidence, knowing that they can score. And, hey, this is going to be one whale of a ball game. You're talking about this big rivalry. You know, for Eastchester in the 40s, Frank Smith played for, he was a halfback. He went to University of Miami. He was an All-American. And Al Carapello played for Tuckahoe. He went to the University of Miami, was an All-American, started 5 years. Started for 5 years for the 49ers. Now he lives in Eastchester, and his children have graduated from Eastchester.
Same as Pete Chula, one of these stars of Tuckahoe. He played here, but his kids went to Eastchester. I know 2 of his sons played for you over at Eastchester.
Well, Peter played for me, and he was an all-county ball player. He has the record in a field goal.
Second half is underway. The kick goes short, and it's taken by Solano, number 29, who takes it out over his 40-yard line.
Now, this is good field position right here for Tuckahoe. What they got to do is stick to that running game, pick up the yardage, and chew up the clock.
Okay, the Tigers will get it first in the second half with great field position once again in there. You see number 69 for Eastchester, Anthony Paquadio, a junior, 5'5", 215, low to the ground. But, Ray, you say he's quick.
He's got good balance. He's strong. He's in upper body strength. And that's why he's there in that defensive line.
So the Tigers, it's their worst field position all day, if you could believe it, at their own 42. Okay, great position. Handoff to Savage. And he fumbles the football, and the Tigers lose it. Maybe a freshman mistake, and now if the Eagles didn't have momentum, they certainly have it now. Didn't really see who fell on it. We'll see if we can catch it on the replay, but the Tigers have turned it over for the second time.
Now let's see who makes the hit here. This is the hit right there. Boom. That's Anthony Paquadio right there. Anthony Paquadio made the hit with collision that caused that fumble.
So Eastchester ball, big turnover from the 42. The Giacomo going out right. He has running room. But he couldn't get outside. Good pursuit by the Tiger defense. In on the tackle for Liano, 77. Stabile, 24. So he gained nothing. It'll bring up a second down. The Eastchester offense, Scully is their quarterback. Luciano De Giacomo are the back. Bernardini, Mariani, Tedesco, the receivers. The offensive line led by Ken Inzio and Brian Vaughn. Again, only one senior and a couple of softs on that offensive line. Second down and call it 9. Minute gone by, third quarter from Tuckahoe. Eastchester with the football. The Giacomo is tripped up. Waters and Mayer make the hit. The Tuckahoe defense, the front four. Mayer and Waters, two of the front four, just made that hit. Rocco Solano, the co-captain, John Anzalone rounds out the front four. And there the linebackers, Phyllis, Savage, Stabile, Furliano, Garner, Crescenzo, Pallone in the secondary. Tuckahoe starts 9 seniors defensively. Phyllis, the junior, and Savage, the freshman. Experienced defense. 3rd down and 11 for Eastchester. Lee runs to the left side, and he is thrown for a loss by Royal Garner. Pursuit by Garner, and the Tigers' defense came out hungry.
Boy, it looks like it's going to be very tough to get to the outside because Tuckahoe's defense, they're cognizant of the fact that Eastchester's trying to get out there. They're really pursuing well. Tuckahoe staying in a 4-4 defense. That means the outside linebackers can really fly and get to the outside quickly.
Now Eastchester's in a punting situation. They have not punted all day. They're at the 47-yard line. Doug DeBrunio is their punter. Number 92. They do quick kick though, and DeGiacomo does that. So DeGiacomo kicks it. Taking it to 15 by Phyllis. He's dangerous if he gets outside. He gets outside. And he's brought down by number 27 of Eastchester, and that was Steve Bucher.
Boy, that one block right there, you can see that Tuckahoe was setting the wall to the white side of the field to spring Phyllis to go all the way. Steve Bucher comes right in there, makes a good touchdown-saving tackle.
Okay, the offense for the Tigers, Joe Pallone, only 1 completion in the first half. Solano, Stabile, and Phyllis. The backs, Garner and Crescenzo are the receivers. Actually, Savage is in there, and the line, Mayer, Forliano, Anzalone, Solano, Waters played a great first half. Blowing out Eastchester's defense. Solano bowls ahead forward for 2, and it'll be a 2nd down as Solano picks up 2 yards on the carry for the Tigers. The Eastchester defense, front 5. Pequadio made the hit to turn it over a few moments ago. DeBrunio, Busano, Vaughn, and Inzio, just 2 seniors in the front 5. Bucher, Codio, Herbert, 2 of them. They'll rotate at linebacker, and the 4 juniors in the secondary. 2nd down and 8 to go for the Tigers. There's a pitch. Stabile, he's got running room. And he's in the Eastchester secondary for a 1st down and more. And Ray, they don't overuse Stabile. You go so much to Phyllis and Savage. When you use Stabile, he has some running room.
Well, what he's doing, Nicoletti's mixing up his offensive running plays. He's using different guys, you know, going up the middle, going to the outside. And again, that offensive line is doing a good job of blocking, and that was a very important run right there because it gives them a 1st down. They're controlling the ball.
Ball right around the 50-yard line for the Tigers. Phyllis, breakaway, run, he's still on his feet.
A 1st down.
14 yards, and that he did on his own. Great 2nd effort runner. Should have been brought down, but he continued.
You can see it's a trap right up the middle. Look at it. He gets hit, he spins. Look at the moves. You know, those are things that you cannot coach. And that's because he's low, he has his head up, his eyes are open. He'll go right, left, give you a leg, take it away. The running game for Tuckahoe is working. Let's see if they're going to stay with it. Okay, man in motion.
Phyllis inside, and he doesn't have much. Maybe 3 or 4. But Ray, it's even when there's not much, it seems like Tuckahoe's line is pushing Eastchester's defensive line back a few yards on each play, which enables the runners just to get 4 or 5 yards instantly.
Well, once you get 4 yards, that's all you want. If you get 4 yards on every carry, you're going to come up with a 1st down. Now, we got to get the camera right in there in a line in the trenches, and let's see who's beating who off the ball, that quickness, as soon as that ball is snapped.
2nd down and about 6. Pitch to Phyllis, outside running room. Flags are on the play. This is going to come back, but Phyllis continuing to have his way as he gets to the outside.
Okay, Garner, number 1. Okay, he clipped on a play there, and he didn't mean it because the Eastchester defender just turned his back at the last minute when Garner hit him for that clip. Well, I'll tell you, there's a good run right there. Boy, it's a shame to have this one called back.
So it goes against Tuckahoe.
See, a lot of times when the offensive man is going to make a block, he'll have the defensive man at the last minute maybe turn. You know, it's like a little trick. It's deceptive. And then the blocker's coming full speed. He hits you in the back.
Clipping, number 1, Tuckahoe, 2nd down.
And the official will catch you for clipping.
2nd down.
And John DiArco's got to be happy about that call, because now Tuckahoe is pushed back to around midfield. Eastchester's 47 to be exact, with a 2nd and long.
Here's the picture of the line. Let's see who fires off the ball. Fire. Look at Tuckahoe firing out.
Phyllis. And he's hit and brought down, and there, a good play, number 20, John Morano. Just 130 pounds, but slowed him up in time for Brian Vaughn to get there and make the hit.
Makes it about 3rd and 17.
Brian Vaughn, a 3-year letterman. He's 6'1", 175 pounds. He goes both ways.
Tuckahoe Ray penalized for 50 yards so far. Eastchester still without a penalty, as the penalty problem is coming up to hurt the Tigers again. And maybe it won't hurt him in the final score today, but remember, they got Dobbs Ferry on their schedule. Fumble, but I believe Cologne has it back. Bad snap right from the center. Anzalone, and the ball fumbled. He lost a couple, so it'll bring up a 4th down situation. As Cologne lucky to get the ball back there. Right now, the punting team comes on. John Anzalone does the punting. He had 1 punt in the first half, over 50 yards. Averaged more than 40 last year. From the 50, we'll see how far he can go with it this time. He bobbles the punt, and he can't get, and it's blocked! Blocked by Lee, the ball is loose. It's still loose, taken by Lee, he's going all the way! Ray, the break the Eagles needed, but hey, there is a flag down on the play. Anzalone and Pallone are both down. I believe Pallone is okay. Anzalone is in agony on the field. And if this stands, wow.
The Eastchester defense, they were coming all the way. Look at this snap. Okay, it was a little low. He had to get it. Couldn't get the handle of the ball. Coming in as the defense. Look at that. Lee gets hit. He knocks the ball loose again. Now you're going to see Elton Lee pick it up. He's a sophomore, 5'6", 145 pounds.
And Ray, it is a touchdown. It is against the Tigers' decline. Wow, it is 21-12. What a turn of events.
We have a football game.
Elton Lee. He's a sophomore. He's played a great game. There is Anzalone. He is still hurting.
Hurry up.
See if it's his right knee. We're not sure. It appears to be holding his right thigh. He was injured earlier in the contest as he fell on that fumble in the end zone. Eastchester will go for 2. It's 21-12. Big play right here. With the 2-point conversion, they can go within 7. And it is Luciano into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and it is suddenly a 21-14 game. 5:04 show on the clock. Ray, you can feel the excitement right here as the bad punt, Elton Lee, with the block. And right there, what should Anzalone have done on this play? So there you see Luciano's 2-point conversion.
Well, he got it and he could kick it, but then the ball was deflected. Lee was there, and then when he picked it up, takes it all the way. Well, what's happening is that Tuckahoe's making the mistakes on that clip play, and they had a first down. The clip brought it back, and what Eastchester is doing, they're capitalizing on the mistakes.
All right. And there's Anzalone. He is in pain on the bench. You can see him agony there.
No, he's not.
And there again, see if we can see his injury. Anzalone doing the punting, bad snap. Ray picks it up.
Now here's where he thought right now that he could get loose. There's Lee coming right there. You see where he blocked it? He blocked it. The ball's bouncing around. Lee picks it up, takes it all the way in. It's a great back for the Eastchester Blue Devils when they went to play Elgin, Illinois for the #1 ranking in the country. Now,
wow.
Eastchester's taking advantage of the Tuckahoe mistakes. They are not giving up 21-14. Now they're going to have to watch and really key Phyllis.
And Luciano, that 2-point conversion, very key. If that missed, they're down by 9 points. A stretcher, by the way, is being brought on. The onside kick is attempted. The Eastchester Eagles say they have it. Still no indication from the referees, and the Eagles apparently do have it. It's tough to see who's on the bottom of that pile right there, but I believe it's Eastchester ball. We will wait for the referees, though. And Ray, the Eagles are trying to keep it away from David Phillips. Say, why are they kicking short? Oh, they don't want. They do have the football. They do have the football.
Okay, this gives them momentum right here.
And not a happy Tuckahoe sideline. And the ball is in Tuckahoe territory. Look at Bernardini kick this ball.
Bernardini's the kicker, but he did not kick it. Someone came back from the side of that lineup and kicked the ball. It was not picked up. Eastchester gets the ball on an onside kick.
From the 48, first down, Luciano! First down and more! And Eastchester's gotten Tuckahoe back with a little of their own trickery. What a game, we've had a little of everything. And Anzalone, by the way, on the sideline for Tuckahoe. There's the stretcher he's going to be taken on. There's something with his ribs, having trouble with his ribs. Probably took a hit to the ribs earlier in the game, and we certainly hope he'll be okay. There's Lee. He puts his head down, and he gets about 4 yards of flag. He's throwing, so
looks like a face mask. Looks like a face mask.
And Ray, that's 15 yards.
That's right, this is momentum. That gives Eastchester a first down. And right now, Tuckahoe defense, they're going to have to come up with a big play to break this momentum.
6'9", Tuckahoe face mask, first down.
And that on number 69 of Tuckahoe, Danny Connolly, who's in the game because of Anzalone right now. Anzalone's injury, and injuries could hurt Tuckahoe because they play 10, 11 people consistently.
Boy, and this is where you really have to keep the ball on the ground, because if that ball goes up in the air, the defense of Tuckahoe is fast. It's going to be dangerous.
Eastchester at Tuckahoe's 18-yard line, 4:15 to go. Boy, is the momentum swung. Luciano, Bulls ahead. And he picks up 3 more. And it'll be a second down. And there's Anzalone, not on the stretcher right now. He is up, apparently feeling a little better. He doesn't want to leave this game. He's injured, but he doesn't want to leave this game. He's their exceptional punter.
He's a warrior.
He's
just
their center.
Tough. All these guys on the field are tough.
He's their
and
left
they're
end.
Not giving up. No one's giving up. This is going right down to the wire.
Ball at the 15, second and 8. Luciano! He's inside the 5, and he has a first down. And this crowd has come alive. Here at Tuckahoe, it's 21-14, the ball at the 4-yard line. Luciano has just come alive here in the second half.
He's 6'1", 215.
John DiArco calls him a bull. He gets it again. And he gets a couple down to about the 2-yard line. It'll be second down, goal to go for Eastchester. If you just joined us, well, you've missed a lot so far. Tuckahoe built a 21-0 lead thanks to 3 Eastchester fumbles. Eastchester came back, got 6 before the half. And thanks to a block punt, they've made it 21-14. And now an onside kickoff. They have the ball back there at the 2-yard line. Second down, goal to goal for Eastchester. See if Luciano gets it again. He does. And I don't think he got in.
And now Eastchester, on our last play, they went unbalanced right, hoping that they had the blocking advantage.
And it may be a flag on the play. You can see Forliano jumping up and down on the Tuckahoe defense. No flag. Forliano, of course, went to Eastchester last year, as we mentioned.
Now let's see if Eastchester comes out in an unbalanced line right here. They go to the strong side.
Ball is sitting on the goal line.
Yes, they're out. They're unbalanced right.
3rd and inches for the touchdown. Scully keeps it. He's in.
Good call right there with only inches to go. Quarterback sneak. No unnecessary ball movement. He gets the ball, runs with it, goes in for the score.
Stay here.
It is 21-20. Brian Scully, a 1-yard touchdown run. The Eagles are within 1, and the Tuckahoe side is quiet. There again, Scully's second effort. Gets the yard he needed. A happy Eastchester team.
And he ran right behind Brian Vaughn, the tri-captain, the left guard. Depending on his block, he made it. Scully scores.
Eastchester's first timeout of the second half. They're going to talk about this. Ray, 21-20. Okay, you have over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Do you go for 2 here?
What do you do? What do you do? Well, it's up to that coaching staff right now. Are you really confident in your kicker? Will he get you that 1 point? Now, if you do get the 1 point, now here we have, you see Scully going over the left guard. That's Brian Vaughn in for the score. But if you're positively sure that you can get that 1 point, it's like starting all over. Going for that 2-point conversion, if you make it and your defense holds, you can come out a winner.
What a third quarter. Eastchester has trimmed it to 21-20. This is the game the Tigers worried about. Of course, they want to get back to a bowl. They haven't been there since '84. They have the team to do it this season.
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Unbalanced left.
They're going for 2 and the lead. And it looked like Luciano moved earlier against Eastchester. But Ray, I believe the whistle was before the 2-point conversion. No, it is not. Yes, it is. So apparently the 2-point, the whistle before, so all it will do is push it back. Eagles will have another chance.
Now, just going out on that play limping was Jimmy Luciano. I don't know if he's hurt. He may have gotten hurt on that play. He came off the field limping.
And we'll see if he comes back in for the 2-point conversion. Ray, that is against Eastchester, 5 yards. That means Eastchester will have to try the 2-point conversion from the 7.5-yard line.
8 yards. 8 yards out.
Okay, the 8-yard line, or now do you go kick? Mentioned their kicker is Mark Bernardini. Also their starting flanker. He caught a touchdown pass against Bronxville. We'll see if he kicks. No, it appears they still will go for 2 from the 8-yard line.
Going for the win.
Plenty of time left, though. 2:14 in the third. And the Eagles have another penalty, and this 2-point conversion soon will be from the 50-yard line.
Maybe a little bit confusion there because Luciano did limp out, and immediately you have to put someone else in there, and they just took a little bit too much time.
And Luciano is not in the game at this moment. Eastchester's first 2 penalties of the game, however. Penalty-free game until this 2-point conversion. 21-20 Tuckahoe now from the 13-yard line. Now you wonder if there'll be a pass play, though they certainly don't set up for it. Here's Scully. Out to the Giacomo, and it's off his hands. He may have had some running room had he caught that chance to get in. So the 2-point conversion is no good. With all that, the Tuckahoe Tigers still have themselves a lead, be it at 1 point at 21-20.
You can see the play right here. The Giacomo's in the open. He wants to get the ball. You see it's thrown way over his head. Could not get it. You see there's not a one defender around him. If he would have had that ball, he did have running room, and he wanted the opportunity to score.
And Ray, the scoring drive for the Eastchester Eagles. Well, Scully ran it in from 1 yard out, but it took just over 2.5 minutes, 6 plays, almost 50 yards. And all because of the onside kickoff, the trick play for Eastchester. And Ray, if you look in midfield, we're standing right at midfield, the 50-yard line, is John Anzalone. He is back in the ball game for Coach Ralph Nicoletti and the Tuckahoe Tigers. You know he didn't want to get on that stretcher, did not want to get away from Tiger Field, and he's back in the game.
And you look on the Eagles side, I think it's Jimmy Luciano. They're working on his leg. He's injured. We'll see if he comes back.
Yes, he is down around the Eastchester 30-yard line. The doctors and trainers are with him. Played such a big part. And now Bernardini gets a good kick on this one. And
good hit, John. Good hit, John.
Flags are down on the play. And you can see number 50 from Eastchester went right at Anzalone. That was Bobby Drews. Just went right at Anzalone, gave him a good hit. There is John. Does he want to win this or what? His senior season?
I mean, for rekindling a rivalry like that, it doesn't get any better than this. 21-20. Eastchester did not give up. They're capitalizing on Tuckahoe's mistakes. Tuckahoe right now, when they get this ball, they cannot go off sides. They can't clip. They just have to play perfect offense from here on in.
We'll see if Tuckahoe plays a little conservative now. Certainly not a conservative team at all. We'll see now with the lead if they maybe go to give it to Phyllis a little bit more. Now Bernardini is the kicker, 88. Remember, he didn't kick it last time. On the onside kick, Eastchester ready with the block punt and an onside kick here in the third quarter. And it is, in fact, Bernardini. This time an onside kick. But Pallone gets it, and Tuckahoe put a lot of their ball handlers up front, expecting that right now. And yes, another yellow hanky on the field.
Ay, ay, ay. See, you can't have these. They're mistakes. They're too costly in a big game like this. And right there, Tuckahoe had good field position.
And again, against Tuckahoe and Ralph Nicoletti, I'm sure during the week is going to address this penalty issue one more time.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, #1, Tuckahoe.
And Ray, that's 15 yards to Royal Garner, and that changes a good field position to the ball at the 30-yard line.
You can't win a ball game unsportsmanlike conduct. You just can't. The penalties will kill you. Tuckahoe had good field position. Eastchester's driving their backs right up against the wall.
Against Bronxville, we mentioned 8 penalties, 90 yards today, 8 penalties, 80 yards, still over 2 minutes in the third quarter. Ralph Nicoletti is going to go talk to his team as there's a timeout on the field. It's 21-20. The Tuckahoe Tigers leading the Eastchester Eagles. Ray, and the last, we mentioned, haven't played each other since 1952. And in the last 7 times they've played, Eastchester outscored Tuckahoe 210-31. Tuckahoe didn't have a team in 53. They stopped the rivalry, but here it is back up and kicking, and they're hoping to have this go every year. At Tuckahoe one year, back at Eastchester the next year. Eastchester will be strong next year. Just a few seniors on their roster. Tuckahoe loses a lot. Next year, maybe Eastchester will be the big favorite, but as you can see on the field, that's a different story. Very competitive game. Tiger ball, and it's a fumble, and Eastchester has it. Unbelievable. On first down, again they fumbled. Eastchester football. You can see a communication problem. And it's hard to see who jumped on it, but the Eagles do have the football.
And it was right after a penalty. It's just that Eastchester is capitalizing on every mistake that Tuckahoe's making. Now, if Eastchester takes it in here right after this fumble recovery, I think it's really going to knock the wind out of Tuckahoe right here, because Eastchester's coming on like gangbusters.
From the 27, what a game. The Giacomo, and nothing right there, as he is tackled by the Tuckahoe Tigers defense. In on the hit, number 58, Brian Mayer. So it'll be a second down situation.
Now the Eastchester offense has to do the same thing. They have to mix up their running games. You know, run a trap, maybe double team a tackle, a counter.
Second down for the Eagles and 11. Lee, he has running room right. And he puts his head down, and he's tackled at about the 15-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
And that could hurt because Lee picked up about 9 yards on the carry. We'll wait to see what the official ruling is on this one. The Tigers' last 4 possessions, 3 of them had the ball under a minute.
Boy, this is a game where the team that does not make any mistakes from here on in, they can win the game.
So
you can't hold, you can't clip, you can't, you really have to keep your poise. You can't lose your head.
So now the clip will be marched off.
And I think it'll still be second down.
And there's Elton Lee, one of the stars for Eastchester on the sideline. He is being worked on.
7-3, White. Second down.
And that penalty
Holding,
on Eastchester, Anthony
White.
Iasola.
Second down.
A holding penalty, so that'll be 10 yards. Third Eagle penalty.
Iasola's only a sophomore. He's 6 foot, 240 pounds on a program. He's quick, has agility. Coach DiArco very pleased with his progress.
There's the Giacomo on the draw play. And he has nothing. Mark Salerno makes the hit, number 41 for the Tigers, who's in the ballgame. And perhaps a loss of 2 more.
You can see right here, there's a lot of pressure coming from the outside. Good pursuit by Tuckahoe. Good tackle right there. That's a key play. Tuckahoe defense is going to have to come up with a big play to stop the momentum of Eastchester.
3rd and 24. This could be the final play. Quarter number 3. It's been a great one. 3rd and long for the Eagles. Handoff to Bernardini. And he is yanked down in the backfield by number 24, Anthony Stabile. Eastchester, nothing going right there on that offensive series. Not the first time Bernardini has run the ball. He, of course, is the flanker. And we'll see if that is, in fact, the final play of quarter number 3. And it is. So we've played 3 quarters. What a third quarter. Eastchester has crept back in the ballgame. They have the ball 4th down when the 4th quarter opens, trailing the Tigers by a point, 21-20.
For the best in community sports, you can't beat local cable programming. TV that hits home.
At Iona College, I get financial aid. Most kids do.
If you deserve it, you'll probably get it. Iona's great about that.
We're committed to making quality education affordable.
You get career counseling, too. They help you with interviews, resumes,
internships with good companies so you can get a start on a career.
A solid liberal arts base plus computer literacy. That's what business wants today.
The proof is in the people at Iona.
And Ray, after that third quarter, what can we expect here in quarter 4?
Well, right now, you have to really keep your poise. You can't have any penalties. And the 4th quarter, we're going to have to watch a Tuckahoe team because 10 out of the 11 ball players go both ways. Let's see if they do get tired, and it's going to have an effect on their play.
Opening play, 4th quarter, punting situation to Giacomo, back to punt from his 50, ball in the 42. Pitch back to him, no fake. Gets a good kick. Phyllis takes it deep in his own territory, escapes one tackler. He fumbles! Deep in Tuckahoe territory, Eastchester has it. And that's how the 4th quarter will start.
You can see Phyllis right here. Look, he wants to get around that end, He's got to hold on to that ball. He's going to get hit right here. The ball's going to pop out. See where the helmet of that ball player jarred the ball loose.
Bernardini makes the hit.
What a turnover.
It.
And the ball, I think, is on the 8-yard line. 8 yards to go for a score. First and goal.
Ball is inside the 10-yard line. Call it the 9. Fullback Luciano. Gang tackled out of bounds. It'll bring up a second down. Doesn't get any better than this.
Come on, defense!
Ball's to the 7-yard line. Second and goal. Opening minute, final quarter from Tiger Field. Eric Lubitz, Ray Karowski, Tuckahoe, Eastchester. What a rivalry. Haven't played since '52, and it's been a long time coming, but worth the wait. 21-20.
You can see Eastchester right here. See if they come out in an unbalanced line again. This must be their goal line offense. The unbalanced line.
From the 7. Scully himself, got to get rid of it. He is tackled. At about the 10, he will lose 3 on the play. And Ray, it's funny, Eastchester, despite all Tuckahoe's mistakes here in the second half, and now the Eagles are going to talk this over because John DiArco cannot be happy with his offense in the last 2 series. As Tuckahoe's defense has just controlled them. Down here, Eastchester had the ball at the 30. They lost yardage on every single play, including a hold. And down here, again, not being able to get the ball and not being able to move the ball like they were earlier.
Now, don't forget, the Tuckahoe defense, the goal line defense is a 6-5. They're in man for man. Now, if Joe Luciano, the offensive coordinator of Eastchester, is out there, he's talking to his team, and if it is going to be a pass play, that man's going to really have to beat his man because he's going to be covered man for man, and he's going to have to be in the open before the ball is released, because if that ball is picked off in the end zone, that's really going to kill the momentum for Eastchester. This is a difficult situation right here. Luciano's got to make a call where possibly the quarterback can run or throw, let's say like an option. Or if he's going to go with power, the linemen definitely have to block. It's going to be very, very interesting in the call which he's going to make right now.
And Ray, it's funny, both these teams told me that the reason why they wouldn't even scrimmage in the past couple years is that the game would just be anticlimactic next week after a scrimmage against one of these teams. Too much emotion, and I can understand what they were talking about now. Third down. Scully keeps it himself, goes out left. Goes out wide, doesn't have the speed. Phillips throws him down for a loss. And there's the speed of Dave Phillips and quickness, because he had running room, a little more speed for Scully. He's in the end zone.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to outrun Phillips. He's the fastest man on the field, and right there he comes up with a very, very important tackle.
So Eastchester had the ball on the 7-yard line. Tuckahoe's defense has dug in. The ball is now at the 16-yard line.
And don't forget, 10 out of 11 players on Tuckahoe are going both ways.
A lot of emotion, under 9.5 to go in the game. 4th down, the Eagles will go for it, no field goal. Need a touchdown. Scully rolls out, and he throws it short, and not a good play right there, because even if that's complete, that's going nowhere. You need to throw the ball in the end zone and give a guy a chance to get in the end zone. That, by the way, the first pass attempted by Scully all day. Actually, the second, he threw an interception, and they are intended for Luciano in the dirt, in the ground, and Tuckahoe is taking over on downs. Ball at the 16-yard line. Tuckahoe's given Eastchester almost every possible advantage they could have in the second half. 3 fumbles, block punt, an onside kickoff.
And they can't make a mistake now. This is crucial right here. This is the sign, the mark of a good football team. Not making a mistake.
And on his feet is Stabile.
You see him hold that ball? You see him hold that ball with 2 hands? That's exactly what you have to do. Hunt that ball. Don't fumble. Really really hold on to it. He is doing the right thing right there, holding on to this ball. Stabile, a 2-year starter. He's a pitcher to first base on a baseball team, and look at him hold the ball. 2 hands are wrapped around that ball.
And another injury on the field. Eastchester, one of their defenders, is down holding, I believe, his ankle or his knee. We'll try to get that for you in a second. Looking at stats through 3 quarters this classic game. First downs just about even. Yards rushing, well, Phyllis 126. Exceptional junior for Tuckahoe. Eastchester balanced 49 yards rushing for Luciano. Had a great 3rd quarter. Still yards passing. Eastchester Scully's not completed one. 0 for 1. And Pallone 1 for 3 for 34 yards for Tuckahoe. Not that much passing today. Total yards in favor of Tuckahoe. Turnovers 7, and hey, that doesn't even include the onside kickoff and the block punt. And look at the time of possession. You saw that stat before the game. If you're Ralph Nicoletti, you got to be very unhappy about yourselves. Right now, though, he is leading. They have a 1-point lead. Right now, they got to say to themselves, we're in a game, we're up by a point, and they have the ball right now. They got to ground it out. And it appears going to Stabile, maybe he's more sure-handed than the other
Exactly.
runners.
Go to Stabile a little bit, because against Bronxville, he had 6 carries for 61 yards. He can carry the leather and pick up the yardage. You have Phyllis and Stabile that run very, very well out of that halfback position.
Under 9 to go. Nobody's left this one. Here at Tiger Field. Phyllis still on his feet, but dragged down, and again he fumbles, but after the whistle.
The whistle was blown.
But Ray, he's fumbling the ball. He's not hanging on to it. Maybe you don't want to give it to him now in the situation.
That means start looking at first Stabile.
But Phyllis, of course, is their leading rusher all last season. Over 200 yards against Bronxville. Over 100 yards today. You can't stop giving it to your best back. Second down from the 27. 8:37 to go. 21-20 if you just joined us. Tuckahoe. Pitch to Phyllis. Running room left side. First down yardage. Brought down by number 69, Pierre Claudio.
Boy, this outside game. Look at this pitch. I mean, it's a long way to go. It's working perfectly well, getting Phyllis to the outside, just really utilizing his speed, coming up with a great run and the first down. Eastchester defense, they just have to play it outside contained. They have to get a defensive linebacker out there and play on the outside shoulder of Phyllis.
Don't forget, a lot of these Tuckahoe students and fans know these Eastchester students and fans very well. Phyllis with the pitch. Running room outside. He puts his head down, runs right into our camera on the sidelines. As you could hear the effect, that's the loud thud that you heard, but a first down, importantly, past midfield for Phyllis.
Just going to the outside. Again, this is the option. Nice option, good pitch right there. Go to the outside, depending on a block, picking up a first down. Thud right into the cameraman, right into the bench, the team, everyone.
That was Carl Cacchiola, our cameraman, happened to get engaged last night. And just hours later, takes a shot in the eye, but he's okay. First down and 10 for Tuckahoe from the 43. Up the middle of Phyllis. And Lee brings him down, but not before 5 yards. Phyllis now in the last 3 carries has 33 yards.
Strong runner, he's only a junior.
Over 150 yards rushing today.
Oh! Right into the camera.
Rather be sitting up here.
I'd rather be down there playing linebacker. This is a great game.
Second down. This is Stabile. Good running room. Short of the first down. Tripped up in the Eagles secondary, but he did pick up 5. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation and 1 yard to go for the Tigers.
Now you have to watch the line. It's the line right here. It's up to the line, the offensive line. They have to fire off that ball create a new line of scrimmage. They have to get this first down to continue this drive.
And there is Mr. Cacciola back with the camera. Not going to let it bother him. 3rd down and 1. Big play for Eastchester's defense. Stabile, first down. Anthony Stabile ran once in the first half. Just twice in the first 3 quarters. Now 3 runs here in the 4th quarter. 6.5 and counting to go in the contest. Tuckahoe started this drive deep in their own territory from their 16-yard line. And they have moved deep into Eastchester territory. 1st and 10 at the 31.
They're in a wing T formation.
Stabile get 2 or 3, tripped up. And maybe another injury. Another Eagle player is down. A lot of hitting today, a lot more injuries today than usual.
Well, they're not hitting out there. This is a war. Take no prisoners. It's collision. I can hear the banging up here. Helmet to helmet, shoulder pad, shoulder pad. They're just drilling right through people.
And they're going to call the ambulance out right here. We're not sure who it is. We'll try to get his number for you. It's been a lot of hitting. John Anzalone's had his share today for the Tigers. He's back in. Luciano's been beat up. Lee's been beat up. And we'll try to see. He's being attended to. It's 21-20. We're under 6 to go. The Tigers lead it. They have the ball. The 29. When we resume, it'll be 2nd down and about 8 to go for Tuckahoe. Eastchester player is down on the field. See if we can pick it up on our replay deck. Just who and how it happened.
Okay, here's the hit. Okay, here's the tackle. Look at this tackle. Head up. Oh, that's a good hit. Is that number 45? Number 45. No,
maybe 75, no. Brian Vaughn.
75, Brian Vaughn, the tri-captain. What? He comes in with a nice tackle, but he got injured on that play.
Maybe his neck. We hope it's not. Of course, no neck injury is good.
I mean, this is so hard hitting. It's a great football game. You just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Okay, we'll take one more look.
And see if the knee. Let's see the knee.
There's Stabile's knee.
Oh, the knee.
And it looked like his neck or his
could be
left
collarbone,
shoulder.
Maybe the collarbone.
So he's still down. So we're going to step away for a couple moments with the injured player on the field. We'll come back. We'll tell you how he's doing, and we'll finish up. Final 6 minutes, 21-20 Tuckahoe. Stay with us.
This old man is back. The sucker is back. Go tell the whole world.
Give a damn when they object. I mean, we're here to win football game. They don't like it, then go somewhere else.
We are standing by, ready to go live.
We are going to go live.
Gordy will be with us over the course of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How you doing, Mick? Fine, Kevin. Thank you. The Mizlou Sports News Network, now showing on cable channel 1 or 99 on UA Columbia's Cablevision of Westchester's basic cable service.
Broncos go up against the Irvington Bulldogs in an Interleague Conference 3 matchup. You can catch all the action on Cable 3.
So Brian Vaughn is in the ambulance right now. We hope he's okay. Looks like he has some sort of a neck injury. Probably going to be taken to hospital. Hopefully won't be anything serious right now. I'm sure he doesn't want to leave the game, of course. 21-20. What a battle we've had so far here at Tuckahoe's Tiger Field, leading Eastchester by a single point. And there's still 5:57 unofficially showing on the clock. Good good applause from the crowd here at Tuckahoe, which is nice to see.
Brian Vaughn's a 3-year letterman. He's having a great game, playing both ways, and it's really a shame to get hurt in a situation like this because it is such a good game. You know, whether you win or lose, it's a fabulous display of courage, coming back, not giving up, and having that furious, burning desire to excel and win this game.
And we just found out a strained neck muscle, so that's good to know, just a strained neck muscle, and taken to the hospital for precautionary reasons. Second down for the Tigers. Phyllis, left side, first down, on his way into the end zone.
And you see what they did? Tuckahoe ran right where Brian Vaughn was playing at defensive end. Phyllis with his speed, turns the corner, scores the touchdown.
That his second touchdown, number 5 of the season.
You can see right here, it's a beautiful pitch. Goes as soon as he hits that outside corner. Look at the speed on this man. He's like a road runner here. But when he gets the ball and he's in the open, he goes beep, beep, on his way. Touchdown.
And Ray, it seems like we're losing a player or play right now. Someone else is down on the field. I believe another Eastchester player.
You can see the run. Look at the speed on Phyllis. Having a great afternoon. Had a great afternoon against Bronxville. Boy, he's the man to watch. I'll tell you, Millbrook is playing Tuckahoe next week. They better really key on Phyllis. That's the man to stop. But then again, Tuckahoe has Stabile. Ooh, it's really amazing. Tuckahoe has made so many mistakes. The penalties. Eastchester capitalized on the penalties. They've taken it for a score. And still, when it was needed, Tuckahoe comes up with a good offensive drive.
David Phyllis is now 188 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Combine that with 229 yards last week, over 400 yards rushing in 2 games.
200 yards a game.
Plus.
And
there we hope another Eagle player doesn't have to be taken off via the ambulance. Again, we haven't caught his number as of yet. It's 27-20. A crazy game, all sorts of things. A lot of turnovers, block punts.
I really did not expect it to be this high of a scoring game because I thought the defenses were going to be a heck of a lot tighter and tougher. You have Greco, who's a defensive coordinator of the Tigers, and Archiello, the defensive coordinator of Eastchester. I mean, they do a great job defensively, and I thought it was going to be a Donnybrook.
In 3 games, these defenses have given up prior to today a combined 18 points, and here today, 47 points on the scoreboard. So once again, we will step away. We'll come back. It's 27-20. We'll have the conversion attempt for you for Tuckahoe. They lead it. We'll be back on Cable 3.
Sunday night alert. The NFL on TNT. Sunday Nitro. NFL football. Sunday nights on TNT. The Rams clash with the Bears.
The injured Eagle, number 60, Bobby Hunt. And there you see him.
Bobby Hunt's a sophomore. He was a member of the Eastchester Blue Devil Championship Bowl team. Number 60.
It was tough to see. It may have been number 80. In fact, not number 60. Number 80 would have been Matt Smith. We'll try to find that out. For the 2-point conversion. And it is stopped. So apparently that it wasn't a touchdown, which we thought originally.
I thought it was a touchdown.
A little confusion. So
well, maybe did he step out of bounds? That was not. He stepped out of bounds. It's not a touchdown.
Okay, so it is not a touchdown. We apologize for that. Still 21-20. The ball on the 2-yard line. Tuckahoe on that play got down to the 1, so it is now 2nd down and goal to go. The Tigers leading by a single point. And into the end zone or right on the goal line. We'll wait for the official. No, he didn't get in.
Oh, he ran right into Ken Incio. What you want to do is run away from Kenny. Kenny's tough in there in that defensive line.
So, Ray, the ball is now sitting on the goal line. 3rd down and goal.
So it's so close, Eric. It's inches to go. What you want to do is just tell the center to fire out, quarterback sneak it right in.
There's the sneak you talked about, touchdown Cologne.
Too close to be denied. See right here, it's a quarterback sneak. Stay low, keep your feet driving, go right behind the center and the guard.
So it is now 27-20, and here the advantage of having one of the best kickers around, Anthony Solano.
And they ran that, excuse me, Eric, they ran that quarterback sneak, Palone did, right behind Rocco Solano, who's the co-captain of Tuckahoe team. He's a 4-year starter. Last year he was all-league, and he's one of the best linemen, and that was an excellent call. Go behind your best.
And now, Ray, a offside penalty against Eastchester. Half the distance to the goal. So now with the ball at the 1.5-yard line, Tuckahoe may go for 2 points as they take out their kicker, Solano. And this may be what Eastchester wants them to do.
Replay, ball on the 1.5.
Because now you have a chance to stop them. With their kick is automatic. It's going to give them an 8-point lead, giving Eastchester no chance to really win.
Exactly. This is a tough situation.
Now the game is this right here. 27-20. This could cement the Tuckahoe win if they make the conversion. Stabile gets in.
Good call by Tuckahoe. They ran away from Ken Incio. Stabile takes it in for the 2 points. Well, I'll tell you, in this game, Eastchester did not give up. It seems like Tuckahoe was down. Eastchester had a momentum, and then Tuckahoe did not give up.
Ray, the injured player on that other play for Eastchester was, in fact, number 60, Bobby Hunt. He's on the sidelines. He's walking around. He's okay. I don't know if he will return, though. You can see him limping around. Another look at the touchdown for the conversion.
4 minutes left on the clock. Each team has 2 timeouts left.
There's Palone's touchdown on the sneak, Ray, which you called. 29-20. And on that play that we thought was a Phyllis touchdown, apparently he had stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like he did not step out of bounds. He faked the cameraman out. I really thought it was a touchdown, but he stepped out of bounds. That was our mistake. Apologize for that.
So it is 29-20 as Palone gets the touchdown. Tuckahoe with the apparently safe lead now, 9 points. We're at the 4-minute warning. 3:59. And a little bit of dejection there. Hey, Eastchester cut this to 1 point and had the ball at Tuckahoe's 7-yard line.
Did not give up.
There's the Tuckahoe bench. They could maybe breathe a little deeper now. Lead it by 9. Still have time left. Royal Garner to kick off for the Tigers. Giacomo at his own 10, picks it up, tries to get outside, and he doesn't get beyond the 15-yard line. So not only does Eastchester have to put up 2 scores here in the final 4 minutes, but they have to drive a lot of ways to do it. They start at their 15, 1st and 10. Ray, the rain is kept away today. Rain in the forecast, but it hasn't rained here today. Certainly not on Tuckahoe, although it looked like it might have here. What a disastrous 3rd quarter for the Tigers, but they've managed to weather the storm.
Let's go!
Scully up the middle to Luciano, and he picks up some yardage, but at this point in the game, down by 9 points. Very tough for Eastchester. They're not a passing team. They're the Tigers scoring drive. 11 plays, 88 yards. What a drive. There is a drive over 5 minutes, and not Phyllis, but Pallone on the touchdown 1-yard run, and the all-important 2-point conversion by Stabile.
And the important thing about that drive was that they did it without a mistake or a penalty.
Under 3 to go. Scully to pass. And it is intercepted by Jason Crescenzo, number 2.
But Jason Crescenzo really has good hands. You'll see him come up with that interception. Wow, he dove for that ball.
That Eastchester's 5th turnover.
Great catch.
His second interception for Crescenzo.
Great defensive play.
Second interception. You can see Scully not completed a pass today.
Watch this interception. Watch this great interception. Look at this. Diving for the ball and staying in bounds.
.251 on the clock. Tuckahoe just got to run it out now at Eastchester's 45-yard line. What a game. As it's winding down, apparently the Tigers will be victorious, leading it by 9. Stabile doesn't want to get out of bounds, gets 5 tough yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down situation. Right, last time these two teams played, 1952. Well, John DiArco was 2 years old, Ralph Nicoletti 1 year old. It's been a while.
They were in their cribs playing with a football. A little football. One of those little guys.
Eastchester, nothing to be ashamed about their performance today. Phyllis on the pitch, and he gets about 3. Boy, we've seen one of Section 1's best running backs this afternoon in David Phyllis.
Boy, can he run. He has wings on his heels. He takes off. He does the 40-yard dash in 4.6, and boy, he really displayed his speed here this afternoon.
The executive producer of Cable 3 Sports is Nancy Green. Today's game is produced by Chris Chulo and myself. As usual, our director is Paul Curdio. Ralph Romano. On stats, it's 29-20 Tuckahoe. You don't want to forget our technical supervisor, Miles B. Ritz Jr. Recently married, as is our audio man, Jerry Miller. Under 2 minutes to go, the Tigers appear to be victorious here today. 3rd down and short. A 1st down here would ice it. Tiger win would have them at 2-0. Eagles would fall to 1-2. And Tuckahoe, as we mentioned, has a few easy ones on their schedule at Millbrook, Rhinebeck, and Hastings, the next 3. Solano gets the call, and he's stacked up short of the 1st down. Stabile, rather. So it'll bring up a 4th down. And about 1. As the Eastchester defense not giving up, certainly. Clock is ticking. Unofficially, minute 20. Tuckahoe will take probably the full time allotted and probably get the delay of game penalty here. Anzalone, the punter, is not in punting formation. Tuckahoe will go. Pallone hands off to Phyllis, fighting for the 1st down. He won't get it. So Phyllis is stopped short of the 1st down. The Eagles will take over unofficially, 53 seconds to go. Ball at their 37-yard line, trailing 29-20 now. Some of the 2nd string of Tuckahoe coming in. Vaccaro, Salerno onto the field. Get down. 1st and 10 for Eastchester. Ray Karowski on his way down to the field to get David Phyllis. And Scully gets it away, and he's intercepted. And Savage is on his feet, and he can fly. And a touchdown-saving tackle by DeGiacomo. Terrell Savage, just a freshman. He's had 33 yards on the ground, haven't really been used much in the second half offensively, starting outside linebacker on the left side with the interception and the run back, and that cements it. That's the third interception of the day thrown by Scully, of course. In that situation, just had to do it. The Tiger players riling up the crowd as they are happy here. They have got their second win, and more importantly, the big rivalry. A lot of past Tuckahoe Eastchester players in the stands for this one. 29-20. Final play, see if the Tigers will just fall on it, and they do. Pallone is hit hard by number 54 of Eastchester, Anthony Codia. And a penalty will be called against him. No, it is in fact against the Tigers. So yet another penalty. Against Tuckahoe, but this one won't really hurt them that much, except in the stats sheet. That'll be 15 yards. They've been penalized.
Dead ball foul, false start, unsportsmanlike conduct, first down.
So 2 penalties, a false start and unsportsmanlike conduct. 9 penalties for Tuckahoe today. 95 yards, worse than last week. Tigers right now just running out the clock. Pallone drops to a knee. Again, a lot of hitting on the line. A lot of emotion out there. And that may be our final play from Tiger Field. The Tigers have their hands up. They feel it, they've done it. They've hung on, managed to stop this Eastchester comeback, and the Tigers win it by a score of 29-20 in the renewal of the Eastchester-Tuckahoe rivalry. And as the players shake hands in midfield, what a game. A lot of the players know each other, a lot of the coaches know the other players on the other teams. And we'll step away. The final score, the Tuckahoe Tigers 29, the Eastchester Eagles 20. We'll have our post game for you after this.
Sunday night alert. The NFL on TNT. Sunday Nitro. NFL football, Sunday nights on TNT. The Rams clash with the Bears.
Broncos go up against the Irvington Bulldogs in an Interleague Conference 3 matchup. You can catch all the action on Cable 3.
The Tigers defeat the Eagles 29-20. What a ball game for Eastchester, trailed by a single point. Going into the fourth quarter, had the ball at Tuckahoe's 7-yard line, but Tuckahoe's defense took over. Eastchester, negative total yards in the fourth quarter. Offensively to start, David Phyllis. He's on the field with his coach, Ralph Nicoletti, and our coach, Ray Karowski.
Thank you, Eric. Coach, congratulations. It was a great game 2 years ago against Rhinebeck. You pull it out. That was a tremendous win. Last year, Valhalla. You coached up there. You win that game. They were both Cable 3 games. But this game, this has to be. It doesn't get any better than this.
Nah, this is what high school football is all about, Ray. I mean, the crowd, the last drive. Our kids showed so much class, and we had to take it down the field, and our kids did it, and they just ground it out right down the field, and our line did a heck of a job. We got some banged up people, and we had to put some people in, but our team showed all the class in the world, and we deserve our ranking. I really do. I mean, Eastchester was a tough team. We gave a lot of physical size away to them, but our kids, you can't count our kids out, and the heart that they just showed today is tremendous. I couldn't be any more proud of the way they played.
Now, were you a little bit disappointed with the penalties, though? They were at crucial times.
Right, we gave them one penalty just before the half, a 15-yard penalty that aided their drive. And then we had a couple crucial ones in their drives in the second half. You know, the block punt gave it to them, and then the penalties after that, and then some fumbles. We made a lot of mistakes. Both teams did. I mean, they fumbled in the first half also, and we were able to capitalize on that. But, I mean, this is high school football. I mean, that is a great game. I mean, if people don't like this, then they better go find another sport they like, because this is great.
Now we have Dave Phillips, most valuable player. Tell us a little bit about him.
This is just a tremendous football player. I mean, there's no way. I mean, he's not that big, but the tremendous speed that he has and the hits that he takes, and he just keeps spinning and spinning. He doesn't even give you a good shot. And we got big things for him. I don't know what his yardage was today, but he had a tremendous game, and when it counted, he gave us the yardage we needed.
He had 191 yards rushing. Thanks. Dave, congratulations.
Thanks.
Against Bronxville, you had 229 yards. You have 190 yards. You're averaging over 200 yards rushing a game. Was that the game plan to get you the ball to the outside?
Yeah, basically, because Eastchester has a tough front line, and they're pretty hard to handle. We just wanted to go to the outside, see what we could do.
Now, you played both ways. I mean, are you really tired now? Because a lot of people were concerned about how can Tuckahoe go both ways and play so hard in such a good game?
I'm a little tired now, but throughout the game, you really don't have time to think about that. You're just about there to play.
It has to be a great feeling to win and to beat Eastchester.
Oh, yeah. We haven't played them in 38 years, I think. It's a great feeling.
Now, we have your touchdown run here. Tell us what the play was and why did it work?
That's a 31 counter. I followed the fullback through the hole, and then I cut back, and there was no one there.
And then right here, your speed takes over.
Yeah.
Here you go. You're going in for the score. What does it feel like scoring here?
It's a great feeling.
Really a great run. Really fast. Do the 40 yards, dash in 4.6. You're only a junior. Lots of luck to you for the remaining rest of the season.
Thanks.
Coach, winning this game, I know you have Millbrook next. I look at it possibly you could be undefeated going into the Dobbs Ferry game, and that's also going to be a Cable 3 game. What does this win mean for your team?
Well, it's a big boost for us. We went up in class to play them. They're a much bigger school, and our kids showed a lot of class here. But we're going to take it one game at a time. As I told the team and told you and Eric beforehand, that we had to stay focused, that we take it one game at a time. We were taking Eastchester, no different than we take Millbrook next week. We're going to prepare the same along the lines each and every game, and whatever happens, happens. If we come and play Dobbs Ferry, all well and good. If we don't, it's been a great season. I mean, this caps it for us to win this ball game. But we're looking down the road. These seniors worked long and hard, and a lot of them have been with me for 4 years, and we're not going to stop with this one. We got Millbrook next, and like I said, I told you, they're a football team. High school football, anything can happen, so we're going to take it one game at a time.
Coach, good luck for the rest of the season. It was a great game. Really enjoy it.
I got to go dry off now.
Okay.
Thanks, Ray.
Eric, it was a great football game. Neither team gave up. Just the way it should be. Tremendous.
All right, Ray, thanks a lot. Looking at the final stats of this game, the first downs in favor of the Tuckahoe Tigers, 10-7. Yards rushing, all in Tuckahoe's favor. 191 of those to David Phillips, we mentioned. Eastchester had 55 yards rushing from their fullback, number 24, Jimmy Luciano. Yards passing, well, the Eagles didn't complete a pass all day. Just one pass completed in this entire ball game. Real old-fashioned running football game, as Pallone was 1 for 4 for 33 yards. That, the fake early in the first quarter, helped set up Tuckahoe's first score. Total yards, all in favor of the Tigers. And look at that, 10 turnovers overall, 3 Scully interceptions, 3 Eastchester fumbles, and that basically the difference in the game. Tuckahoe turned it over 4 times themselves. Looking at the scoring summary, the first quarter, Savage got in for a touchdown, a 1-yard run. Phyllis had a 24-yard touchdown run, make it 14-0 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Stabile went in for a 3-yard touchdown. It was 21-0. That on 3 Eastchester fumbles. Eastchester got on before halftime on the board. The Giacomo 5-yard run, make it a 21-6 game at the half. Third quarter, Eastchester came alive. Lee blocked the punt, ran it in 50 yards. 2-point conversion, made it 21-14. Then after a onside kickoff, Scully capped it with a 1-yard run, 21-20 going into the final quarter. Eastchester with the ball, Tuckahoe's 7-yard line, but the Tiger defense stopped them. Pallone eventually, the final score of the game, 1-yard run, 88-yard drive for the Tigers as they go on to win their second game of the year by a score of 29-20 over the Eastchester Eagles. So next on our schedule here on Cable 3, our cameras will go to Rye, New York for a Conference 2 matchup between the Nyack Indians, one of the strongest teams in all of Section 1, against the Rye Garnet. So hopefully you'll join us for that one. For my broadcast partner, Ray Karowski, and my director, Paul Curdio, this is Eric Lubitz. Once again, the final score, Tuckahoe 29, Eastchester 20.